coming as we look to go through this program. We also have an exciting second part where we'll have finalists from the Accelerator program bringing on their A game to pitch to our global audience today. So I look forward to this session as well at the end of the day. As usual, this is brought to you by the Global Startup Ecosystem, the world's first and largest digital startup accelerator program, and we are happy to come your way with this program. They're shared by our three main pillars of ecosystem: developers, entrepreneurship, employment, and education, and that guides our way as well. So in the chat feed, as you join in, do tell us where you're joining in from. We like to keep this engaged as much as possible. So do join us in the comment section. Share with us where you're joining in from so that we could engage with you as well. So keep on sharing where you're joining in from. This program brought you as thousands of entrepreneurs over the years, and this year we came away with 1,000 entrepreneurs who joined the Accelerator program for 10 sessions, bringing on speakers that came to share their thought leadership and share their ideas and brought practical knowledge to the program. So we are glad that we could come your way with this Accelerator program as well. So in the chat feed, keep on sharing where you're joining in from so that we could engage with you as well. So welcome. We see someone from Malaysia, but from Ghana, who is viewing in from Malaysia. So welcome, everyone. As you do join in, do share where you're joining in from so that we could engage with you as well. So welcome to each and every one of you to this iconic program. So we'll take a recap video from the Accelerator program that has culminated in this final event.
Welcome everyone to the GSE Digital Startup Accelerator. At GSE, we are on a mission to prepare individuals and organizations for the digital age through our platform at GSE. But many have seen GSE in action on the ground with our iconic Tech Summit portfolio, where we go around the world and we activate tech ecosystems through our annual Tech Summit. We have launched about 60 different activations around the world over the past 7 years, and we'll continue to grow and go into Asia and the Caribbean and other emerging markets to really inspire stakeholders in the startup ecosystem to build forward and to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs who are building with purpose, building with integrity, and building with enthusiasm for solving the world's greatest global challenges. Becoming a seasoned entrepreneur really does something to your motivation of how you build and scale your company. Because it's in those low moments that you have to question and ask yourself once more, why did I start to do this in the first place? What was my purpose and my why behind this?
And know when to give up and know when to say no to customers. It's okay to say no to them if it's not the right fit.
Look, solve a problem that somebody cares about. If not, don't do it. It's like, and think about it. Spend the time finding a problem that is like that you really think that it's a problem.
Continue to, well, you're going to persist, right? You're going to work really hard. Persistence, right? Never give up.
Never seek permission from anything or anyone outside of yourself.
I think it always helps to think about what's in it for the other person, right? To start there. So you know what you're looking for. Put yourselves in the shoes of the target that you're going after, and then say, okay, how can I make this attractive to them?
Transparency is key. Transparency is key especially when it comes to building trust. And if you sit on it and don't say anything about it and wait till the end, you're starting to lose the trust.
When you have a brand identity of building a business with purpose, people will stay in touch with you and support you along the entire entrepreneurial journey, even if it's not right now.
Wherever you are today, is that a place you want to be? If no, what are you doing to progress, or what are you doing to achieve that goal?
If you don't remove the blockages to your customers, you're never ever going to have a successful business.
We are sometimes our own biggest enemy. Whatever you're going through as a founder or as a business person, there's someone else out there going through the same thing. and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Have your plan A, always have a plan B, but just go for it.
And some days you're gonna be tired. Some days you're gonna be exhausted. But you also can't forget about why you're here. Take complete ownership. No one is gonna save you. No one's gonna solve your problems.
Be honest with yourself about your capabilities and your unique attributes to solve said problem.
A lot of people feel like, oh my goodness, AI is going to take over everything. And our stance is that AI is just another tool, right? We should not forget that human connection remains the same.
There's a lot of opportunity out there, but it has to be a long-term play. You can't go into these international markets and get intimidated or get frustrated because it's not going your way initially. It's about time and investment.
Make up your mind that you are in it for the long haul. It's not going to be easy. And also, when you are sure of what you want to do, and of course, from the beginning, it's not always so clear.
It's either it work or it works. There's no other option. It's either work or it will work. So don't give room for options where if it not work, I'll fall back. No, don't fall back on anything. If you have decided that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build a business, you want to build a startup, there's no falling back.
Embrace resilience and clarity of purpose. Because entrepreneurship is not about having all the resources. It's about being resilient, being steadfast.
We have to prepare ourselves and our mind to fight with the challenges, the economic hardships, and the bureaucratic issues. If we prepare ourselves, we can win on the challenges and the economic hardships.
Oftentimes we think about one source, about a solution outside of you, but the solution is next to you.
Amazing. So that was the recap of the Accelerator program, and it was a great program throughout the 9 sessions that we had, and we are really glad that we could come away with this iconic program for this year, for its 8th annual session. It's really great to have all our speakers that came on. To kick off this GSE Digital Startup Summit, I'd like to introduce our CEO, the brain behind all this, Christine and Tim, to give her keynote address. Welcome, Christine, to the GSE Digital Startup Summit 2025.
All right. Thank you so much, Dan. Appreciate the introduction. And hello, everyone. Hello. I'm so excited to be on the call with all of you today for the 2025 GSE Digital Startup Summit. I'm going to get started here because this is also an amazing time to be having this conversation. First and foremost, it is the Global Startup Ecosystem Week. Global Entrepreneurship Week is happening right now every single year. Organizations, to networks, and influencers from around the world gather to celebrate entrepreneurship, to celebrate the power of entrepreneurs and the influence of entrepreneurs globally. And this is such a great time to be launching this digital summit, especially during these times that we are living in as a global society. And so with this said, I want to give a huge shout out to all facilitators, ecosystem enablers, support organizations, accelerators, partners in global ecosystems around the world, supporting entrepreneurs to be at their best, to launch solutions to market that truly solve global grand challenges. So huge shout out to GEW, Global Entrepreneurship Week. I'm so blessed to be with all of you here today. Now, obviously, I'm really excited to be one of the speakers for the GSE Digital Startup Summit. This is truly a gathering that is unmatched. We have a packed series of conversation that will await you for the next couple minutes here with speakers, partners, and influencers who made the GSE Accelerator program possible. And I'm so glad that, we at the Global Startup Ecosystem is powering this iconic event. GSE is the world's first and largest digital accelerator platform, which is really on a mission to prepare entrepreneurs for the digital age through our flagship accelerator program that we host every single year, accelerating about 1,000 startup founders across the world every single year through our program. Our 3 pillars of ecosystem engagement is centered around entrepreneurship, employment, and education, where we are working tirelessly to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs to be better than the generation before them, to really build purpose-driven companies with the intent of really inspiring, empowering, and really enabling communities around the world. At GSC, in addition to our flagship Startup Accelerator program, we also have our Digital Startup Academy community for entrepreneurs who first learned how to launch through our flagship program at the Digital Startup Accelerator, but are now ready to scale and want mentorship and guidance through our membership community through the Digital Startup Academy. And of course, we are all gathered here today for our 3rd iconic program, which is the Digital Startup Summit. Of course, in addition to our 3 flagship programs, we are a platform that has worked with some of the biggest institutions, the biggest brands around the world, and we have empowered close to 100,000 entrepreneurs over the years through our tech summits, our programs, and initiatives. So we do provide strategic advisory and stakeholder roundtables. And some of those speakers that we have announced through the GSE Digital Startup Summit will be speaking today through our partnership at the stakeholder roundtables throughout the year. Now, obviously, many of you have probably interacted GSC not only virtually, but also on the ground in a country near you. We have launched many iconic tech summits around the world, from Haiti Tech Summit, Nigeria Tech Summit, Ghana Tech Summit, right? And so on and so forth, really to be a celebration of entrepreneurships in different markets around the world. We currently have about 60 plus iconic brands in our portfolio, and we will continue to grow and inspire as we go on a global tour, because we had a multi-year initiative that we're still pushing forward, which is in a decade, we want to reach markets around the world through our iconic tech summits to really inspire entrepreneurs of this time to really be bold and tenacious in their goal of building resilient companies. And so with that said, I wanted to really kick off with a warm welcome to the GSE Digital Startup Summit. Welcome to this iconic event. Welcome to this iconic event. And we salute each and every one of you. To my entrepreneurs, thank you for inspiring us. To my partners, thank you for empowering us. And to my stakeholders all around the world, thank you for being a part of this journey and a part of this multi-year initiative at GSC. Now, I wanted to kick off today's conversation with a really powerful conversation around how entrepreneurs, especially my entrepreneurs who feel like things have gotten really hard over the past couple of years, to really build with purpose. There's so much that's happening around the world right now. I want to share with you not only my signature framework to help you and empower you to rescale effectively, but really reset your understanding of what it means to be an entrepreneur again, re-inspire you, and really reignite you to really go back to the heart of your journey in entrepreneurship and the why in each and every one of you as startup founders. So here I am going to share with you Entrepreneurship Without Borders, how purpose-driven entrepreneurs can launch in the digital age. And with that said, my inspiration for all of you today is to really connect with the reality and understanding that we are living in a very globalized society. Okay. You could now build from wherever you are to the world just like that, thanks to, digital platforms like social media, platforms like Zoom and StreamYard and all these different, software products that help us really go from one to many within seconds, which is really an inspiring time to be able to build and grow effective companies. And with that said, over the years, entrepreneurship has been very, very glorified. We've seen people make Forbes lists, people make across magazines and global stages. I mean, being an entrepreneur was really a pinnacle of success. The branding around entrepreneurship was really quite powerful. But the reality behind the scenes, and for many of you who've been through the grind of building a business and still in it, if you are resilient and sticking through the cause of your business idea, recognize that it's actually quite stressful to be an entrepreneur. There's a dark side of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of lows and highs. A lot of people don't realize behind the scenes, probably like, the tears and the sweat that we undergo through to, get that client, get that partner, launch that initiative, get this customer. I mean, there's so many behind the scenes growth and resilience that takes place when it comes to entrepreneurship. And with that said, despite these challenges and this reality, another layer that has really compromised the state of entrepreneurship globally is this sad case of a loss of integrity amongst our entrepreneurial leaders. When we think about startup founders who are successful in mainstream media, over the past decade, we have seen scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal of entrepreneurs that we once praised in global media come down, and you see the walls come down. We see the reality behind the curtain, that they were compromising their integrity, cutting corners in places that they shouldn't, doing the things that we as individuals, as as stakeholders wish they hadn't, right? And that really shakes the foundation and the bedrock of what entrepreneurship is, which is finding solutions to challenges, not creating new challenges in and of itself, right? And so there's been a real core to calling cry here for rethinking what it means to be an entrepreneur, and also the position it takes you to really have accountability for what being a CEO of an organization, of an entity means in today's world. That there are so many stakeholders that are building their entire careers and livelihood around your business model. Are you doing it with integrity? Are you doing it with accountability? Are you doing it with a really, really, really humble, understanding of the weight and the power it takes to be an entrepreneur of success in today's world? Right. And so, with that said, in my journey of entrepreneurship, I interacted with thousands of entrepreneurs, over the past few years. But before I launched the global startup ecosystem, my foray into entrepreneurship was really with a question of like, how do we build differently? How do we, as entrepreneurs, build businesses that matter to our core? So our why is stronger than any other, temptation or obstacle that comes our way that will cause us to really cross the line in places that we shouldn't, right? And so I take you guys back to this scene here, where, as you could tell, this is a marketplace, a street marketplace. Many of you around the world are probably used to seeing this every single day, even in the streets of Western markets like the UK and the United States to know this as street markets, flea markets, and the like. And for me, I start my conversation here because this is the heart of entrepreneurship in many societies around the world, where people are selling, goods and services to their local community. Sometimes, because, it's their livelihood, it's the only necessary medium they have to economically provide for their families. Also, it's the quickest way to really get yourself out there, give a product and see if the market really loves it. Right. And this space is really personal and dear to my heart because I grew up in this space. That's me here sitting next to my father, may he rest in peace. My mother had a business where she was selling Haitian street artwork in the streets of New York City. And I grew up, my first foray in entrepreneurship isn't a tech company, isn't, a small business, was actually a street market endeavor, right? Where I was selling with, 2 tables and a couple of products. And I had to learn the art of selling it and pitching and marketing with customers who are just passing by every day, just foot traffic on a regular basis. So this was my journey and my kickoff into entrepreneurship, around that environment. And for me personally, this was nothing new to me, being that I come from 3 generations of female entrepreneurs. My grandmother was a street vendor selling Haitian food in the streets of Port-au-Prince. My mom, who was the first to immigrate to the United States, was able to launch her business selling Haitian artwork in the streets of New York City. And here I am right there on the screen there. Even though I'm the first in my family to go to college, I'm an Ivy League graduate, was able to travel to close to 30 plus countries during my college years and really, have amazing, extravagant experiences, being able to book, and close my career into banking, which was a very, very lucrative, career. But here I am in the streets of Brazil, in the streets of Ghana, in the streets of Haiti, around the world, taking digital, taking street markets digitally around the world through my first startup company, Vendetti. And so 3 generations of street entrepreneurs, this was in my blood. This is what I've been surrounded by. This is something that's inspiring me. And I really built a lot of resilience as a street entrepreneur, especially considering that the heart of my learning and growth happened right here. As you can see here, I'm sure I could take you guys back to 2010, where an earthquake that shattered the lives of 250,000 people who perished in Haiti shocked the world, right? And I always bring people back to this moment because as we saw devastating images of people who lost their lives in the earthquake that shook Haiti over a decade ago, what you see here is an entrepreneur who the very next day, went back to business as usual as an entrepreneur. And not only did she persevere and resilient, put herself out there to sell and market her product, she even leveraged the rubble to position her product even higher, right? And there's a sad, resilient message to this, where what is the state of entrepreneurs around the world who are still building, regardless of circumstance? This is the heart of entrepreneurship that I witness around the world, that I wanted to inspire entrepreneurs to have that integrity and that momentum and that resilience and that grit to push through as well. And so as I forward into my journey to empower street market vendors like the one that you saw here in Haiti, my sketching was really humble. And this is something that I want to share with entrepreneurs. Too many stories of entrepreneurship today are rooted in really glorious storylines that make it seem like every launch needs to be a big, huge announcement. Some of the best things in life start very, very small. So humble your beginnings and really just put yourself out there, because you never know where you will end up, right? And one of the things I always share to entrepreneurs, sometimes your only available transportation is a leap of faith. So just go for it and see where it takes you in this journey. And so that time, I quit my corporate career, moved to Dubai to really launch my first company. Within 2 years of launching Vendetti, which is the first digital street market platform, I not only made the Forbes list, but my career as an entrepreneur really kicked off, where I was, my business became a case study at Harvard Business School. I was starting to meet celebrities and entrepreneurs and influencers who are passionate about empowering street market vendors. And I was able to get major clients around the world to work with in my passion and pursuit of digitizing the street market economy. And so with that journey, I learned a lot. I learned the lessons and was able to share my story and my journey with entrepreneurs around the world. And in that journey, I learned a lot. And so with that said, to formally introduce myself along this journey, my name is Christina Tim. I'm the CEO and the founder of the global startup ecosystem. I'm a serial entrepreneur, personal brand strategist, and a tech ecosystem enabler who also behind the scenes of all this work that we do in the tech and entrepreneurship sector. I'm also a wife, a mother of 5 beautiful kids. I've been able to really inspire and motivate entrepreneurs, over 10,000 entrepreneurs through our flagship accelerator program. And I'm so honored and blessed to be here with you to share with you ways that you could really build with purpose as well. And I will kick off by saying that, a lot of times right now, many of us recognize that usually the first starting point into entrepreneurship is people tell you to have a business plan, right? And one thing that I will share when it comes to this conversation is that we recognize that business plans are dead. You have to be more energetic with your approach to kicking off your business, and you have to have an ecosystem driven business model instead of a static transactional model. And that first starts with understanding your network. And what we have found when I first started my business, is something that it's a blueprint that I share with entrepreneurs in our flagship accelerator and around the world, is really having a bird's eye view of the ecosystem that you're stepping into. And there are 10 key stakeholders in any ecosystem that you will find yourself when it comes to launching your business. And if there are gaps in finding these influencers in these stakeholders in your ecosystem, that you could fill that gap with virtual substitutes, now that we live in a globally digital society. And those 10 stakeholders are entrepreneurs who are building and inspiring a whole ecosystem of entrepreneur enablers. You have entrepreneur support organizations like the GSE, which is our accelerator platform. You have mentors and advisors who are inspiring the next generation of entrepreneurs. You have universities and academia who have entrepreneurship programs. You have different variations of fund platform, from investors to angels to VCs and grant providers. You have media partners and influencers like press and media reporters who are bringing stories to market. You have government related programs. Think of it in the United States like the Small Business Administration, which, by the way, with any economy, small businesses are the backbone of every economy. Then you have the corporate sector who are not only finding startup entrepreneurs as clients, acquiring them, but also partnering and collaborating with entrepreneurs. You have consultant networks like lawyers, accountants, and other enablers. And of course, you have industry networks and associations. So these are the 10 stakeholders that you want to immediately identify to empower your journey as an entrepreneur, because the journey of entrepreneurship is not an easy one. And by identifying these stakeholders, you are building a stronger resilience platform for you to scale and innovate at a high level. And I will say that, for a lot of times, times for entrepreneurs navigating a startup ecosystem can be very daunting. You feel like you're just one of many players in a global ecosystem. And I will tell you, my ability to really stand out in the ecosystems that I've been a part of really started with service and entrepreneurship, because I recognize from the jump that failure was not an option for me, because we all know, statistically speaking, 90% of starters fail. And what separates the 10% from the 90% is not only identifying the right stakeholders, but having a really powerful business model, as shared before, that's not transactional but very ecosystem driven. So I want to conclude by sharing quickly that business model with you. You could sign up at info@globalstartupfoundation.com to get more information about this model, because it's something that we speak at length at GSE. But you want to have 5 key pillars that's creating an internal ecosystem framework for you launching your startup with purpose and core principles. Those 5 basic principles starts with you having a core product. I see a lot of entrepreneurs go to market with an idea, but not actual product. What are you offering a customer, and why, and how is that offering to solving a problem, right? Or a challenge, okay? The second thing is, once you have that product, who are you best serving that product with? That is your pipeline. This is where you have a customer acquisition strategy to share that offering with the customer and lead them down a journey and giving them something that really matters. Process, when do you interact with, your first client, your first user, and what is the customer onboarding experience? And platform. In this digital age, we talk about this at length at GSE. What digital platforms are you leveraging to have conversations with your target market? I always tell people, your marketing strategy is your communication strategy. Where are you hosting conversations online? What platforms are you leveraging to add value to that consumer? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it on social media? Is it on, live sessions like this one? And in pitch, and this is the core premise of the GSE, the heart of your entrepreneurial journey is your pitch, your why. This is what's going to reset you and hold you through the highs and lows of the startup journey, where you're going to define and share your vision and mission and share your story with others to really not only onboard stakeholders like customers, staff members, employees, and partners, but really ground you throughout your journey of building and scaling that business with purpose. Okay. And once you have this core, 5 ecosystem framework, you'll find that you don't get transactional, where you're thinking about, with that product, how do I improve that process over time? Because that pitch, as you evolve as an entrepreneur, so is the business evolving as well, where the product gets better and better. You're targeting a pipeline of customers who want that product as it evolves, making sure that the process has a flow to it, where someone who interacts with your business proposition for the first time has a flow and a methodology to really get the maximum benefit of leveraging your product, and having a platform to consistently communicate and keep pitching that story to ground people, and having that cyclical ecosystem driven nature around your business. Now, of course, one thing that we say is, once you learn how to launch, how do you grow and scale your business? Growing, every entrepreneur who knows how to build a business could grow their business incrementally. But scaling is when you are scaling beyond typical incremental levels. And there's a difference to the two. And the best way to do this is really creating an external ecosystem around your business. This is how you scale your company with sustainable core principles. And the 5 core principles for that, the heart of it is your personal brand. I stress this a lot. You could go on my LinkedIn and follow me later on today, and you can see that, on a consistent basis, I talk about how to build your personal brand and your business, because that reputational consistency of execution creates a narrative around people working with you and collaborating with you as an entrepreneur, which helps you accelerate your journey and your success, your output as an entrepreneur. The second thing is people. You cannot do it all. You're going to need a team. You're going to need staff. You're going to need mentors. You're going to need sponsors. You're going to need to collaborate with people. Find your people in every environment that you're working in, and make sure that you are staying up to date with those people and creating new relationships on a consistent basis. 3 is publishing. I think in today's digital space, any entrepreneur who wants to be relevant and wants to build and scale their product has to have some type of IP or framework and thought leadership to really inspire people to not only work with them as an entrepreneur, but also really tap into the solution that they're providing to the market. Obviously, I'm a big, proponent of joining programs to accelerate your growth and your learning, like the Accelerator program that many of you have heard of through GSE's Digital Startup Accelerator program. And the last but not least is partnerships. I have partnered with entities around the world to distribute our products, to distribute our message. I mean, at GSE, we have over 100 plus global partners around the world who share our story in our platform to be able to empower and welcome in entrepreneurs at scale. So this has been a model that we have used to launch and help entrepreneurs scale their businesses. So this is the core business ecosystem blueprint. At the heart of it is having that ecosystem driven model to have a product that stands the test of time, and then leveraging, these core principles, personal branding, people, publishing, programs, and partnerships to take your business to the next level and accelerate at a faster pace, but at a more impactful pace as well. And so with that, I do want to conclude by saying that, this journey is not an easy one, but it's surely a powerful one, right? This is an opportunity for you to be able to build something and a legacy that could really inspire your audience, your consumer base, your community. Do it with integrity, do it with grit, do it with perseverance, because the why of why you decide to be an entrepreneur should be the really the most purpose driven empowering thing that you have to build a business that stands the test of time. So with that, thank you so much for this iconic opportunity to be able to engage with you. I wish you all the very best as you launch and build companies with purpose, and may you be the entrepreneur that we've been waiting for in this digital age. Thank you so much. Stan, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Christine. That was a powerful keynote, and there's always something to learn from you. That was a great keynote by Christine. Then we are really thankful to her for her thought leadership and her views over the years on entrepreneurship. So it's powerful, and that's a very great way to kick off this program. We'll now be transitioning to our second keynote for the day. We have Bruce Kigma. He's a professor of entrepreneurship at Syracuse, and he'll be joining us shortly to give the second keynote for the day.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Staniel. I do have a slide deck. Can you share it?
Okay, sure.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you very much. And Christine, what a great way to kick off this virtual conference. I mean, what an amazing entrepreneurship journey you've had, and it just convinces me that I have to have you as a speaker over at Syracuse University. I've been asked to talk about teaching entrepreneurship in the digital age, and really the lesson here from my talk is that it's foundational. It's in the blood at Syracuse University, not only entrepreneurship education, but also technology education, and those marry together so nicely in order to get us going. So this is me, Bruce Kingma. I don't want to say much about myself because you can read it yourself. The other day, a colleague of mine called me the entrepreneurship OG, original gangster at Syracuse University. I thought that was funny, and I appreciated her comments on my role at Syracuse University. I've been doing it about 20 years at Syracuse, and we've been doing, we've been having it part of our ecosystem for such a long time that it's interesting to talk about it. It actually goes back 35 years to our Innovation Law Center in our law school back in 1990. And then in 94, our business school developed a program in entrepreneurship and emerging enterprises. All of these things were very early in the game of entrepreneurship education. And then in 2007 was a huge game changer. I got a large grant from the Kauffman Foundation. We're still considered sort of the best in class of the Kauffman campuses. The Kauffman Foundation funded 18 universities around the country, and we built a number of just amazing programs that focused on helping students and veterans and faculty and staff build businesses, within the university context. Another key moment is our Blackstone Launchpad grant that came in 2015, a continuation of experiential entrepreneurship. And then most recently this year, we opened our first incubator on campus. We had a student incubator off campus, but now we've brought one on campus with the Raymond Von Dran Student Incubator. At Syracuse University, we follow the hub and spoke model. If any of you are familiar with me and my publications, I've had a few publications on this kind of model with some of my colleagues at Cornell University and the University of Rochester. Strong hub, but strong spokes in entrepreneurship education too. And in some sense, we have two hubs. We have a launch pad, which is a place that students go. It's actually in the library. And there they get workshops and resources and access to mentors and advice and engagement. And then we have an academic hub, which is our Innovation, Design, and Startups program, which is just 3 courses to help students start ventures, a course in creativity, a course in building a business, and then an accelerator incubator course. This is our Launchpad website and a little view of who they are and where they're at. And this is just an explanation of our academic program, which is cross-campus, built by faculty from the B School, the I School, and the D School in order to make certain everyone across campus has access to entrepreneurship education. And then we have spokes, and almost in every school and college at the university, there is a spoke, there is a center, there's an engagement that involves entrepreneurship education at the university. And of course, we have the requisite student clubs and learning community within the dormitories. We've put, and we follow all the KPIs on our entrepreneurs too. We put 4 student teams on Shark Tank, a popular program in the United States. We've here are many of our student entrepreneurs that have been successful that have not been on Shark Tank. And their faces really represent the thousands of students that have gone through the program and have been successful as entrepreneurs or have been successful in their employment later on using their background and experiences. Our KPIs are obvious, and I do want to give you the good and the bad, right? The KPIs and the headwinds. We get about 100 ventures started every year, give out about $250,000 in funding. Collectively, our student ventures over the last 20 years have valuation of $2 billion with $200 million raised. Not bad for a university the size of Syracuse University. And they've been very successful. We have faced some headwinds. You don't go 20 years without facing some headwinds. And at many universities, there's this ownership issue of entrepreneurship, whether it belongs solely in the business school or outside of the business school. I'm one of those that believes it belongs across campus. Some deans have interest and then not so interest. We hire deans that are not interested in entrepreneurship at one of our schools or colleges, and then some that are. Sometimes university leadership is supportive and sometimes it is not. And then in all honesty, Syracuse, if you're familiar with U.S. geography, Syracuse is in upstate New York. We're 4 hours away from New York City, 4 hours away from Boston, obviously nowhere near San Francisco, Chicago, Houston, that all have vibrant entrepreneurial communities. But that makes us lean and agile and makes us leverage technology in order to support our program. And so what I really want to say is not only entrepreneurship education is in the blood at Syracuse University, but also technology education. And those two things married together are just absolutely perfect. In the background here is a company called Sidearm Sports that was started by a Syracuse University student 25 years ago. And for those of you that are at a U.S. university, you just have to go to your athletics website at your university, and almost certainly it's powered by Sidearm Sports, which means a student-run company, and now students work for that company, are building and maintaining the websites, the athletic websites at universities across the United States. A little bit about the history of our engagement in tech education. Over 50 years ago, we started the first iSchool in the world, with the I representing information technology, right? IT, information. In 1987, the first programs probably in the world in information management. 1993, programs online. These are very early days of online education. We were probably one of the first online programs in the world. A Launchpad back in 2002. And then, as I said, recently, an incubator for students on campus And that happens to be in our iSchool, right? With the marriage of that technology. So we have core groups at Syracuse University that are all in on tech and IT entrepreneurship. We have our iSchool, which has a variety of programs, and of course, most recently programs in artificial intelligence. We've started a minor and now a major. We have our Newhouse School of Public Communications, which again, most recently has started a Center for the Creative Economy for influencers. And our D School also has programs, traditional industrial design programs, but always infused with technology. So we've, for over 50 years, have found that marriage between technology and entrepreneurship education at the university that builds a culture that's very worthwhile, okay? And even currently, right, so I've given you the history, a 50-year history of what we've been doing that has built our culture, but even currently, we have strategies that make certain we leverage this, right? We leverage a loyal alumni network through the online environment. In all honesty, we don't have any choice. We're in the middle of upstate New York, so we have to leverage our alumni online to engage with our students. We have robust quality online programs, right, which we've had before anybody else had online programs. And we don't go for quantity, but we do go for high quality programs. The university has recently created a position of vice president for digital transformation. And that's really just a position that makes certain across campus that artificial intelligence is infused in the education and in our workplace, that we are data driven as an institution. And then with great opportunities we have, for example, our EBV program, franchise that model to other universities. So there's 10 universities across the United States that will host EBV programs, and we give them the curriculum for that. So I do want to say the sort of key moments of success for how we do things, leveraging sort of digital technology in our entrepreneurship education, is a commitment to culture, a 20-year history with entrepreneurship education, a 50-year history with technology education, making those symbiotic with each other, a strong hub and spoke model across the campus to make certain our students are exposed to all of that. And quite frankly, our location leads to our nimbleness and our ability to leverage the digital economy in everything we do. Because sitting in upstate New York, we've embraced online education to reach out to students outside of upstate New York. And we've embraced bringing our alumni onto campus via Zoom and other technologies, right, to make certain our students still have access. Well, I'm Bruce Kingma, professor of entrepreneurship and now also entrepreneur in residence at Syracuse University. Feel free to reach out to me. And just as Christine said, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn too, and I'll connect with you. Look forward to talking to you at any time. My time is short here, but I was glad I was given the opportunity. Thank you to everybody for giving me the opportunity to do this. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Bruce. It was a real pleasure having you on the session today. It was always great meeting you and hearing from you as well. Okay. So we heard from Bruce Kingma from Syracuse University, amazing keynote on entrepreneurship, technology, innovation, and intersection between all of that. It was a real pleasure listening to him and then taking those amazing thought leadership from him. So up next, we have Einstein Tim. He's going to give a brief keynote on the topic that's really interested about. Einstein is a senior advisor at Ghana.ai, and it's a pleasure to welcome him to the GSE Digital Startup Accelerator program. So cue in a brief 30-second countdown, then welcome Einstein to the stage. Welcome.
Hi, hello.
Welcome, Einstein.
Hi, hello, it's Daniel. Greetings. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, hi.
All right.
Yes, I
All right.
can. Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you to Professor Bruce, to the speakers thus far. I'm very grateful for your insights, your commentary. It's quite informative, and I'm glad that Syracuse are sort of curating a program focusing on AI, because I think at this point in time, if you are not doing something to advance the cause of artificial intelligence and moving things forward, you are perpetually harming yourself. I'm trying to find a nice way to say it. But hello, everyone. My name is Einstein Kofi Intim. I'm the chair of the Global Startup Ecosystem and also senior advisor at the Ghana.ai platform. And today I'm going to talk to you about artificial intelligence and the role of artificial intelligence, and of course, its impact in business, community development, governance, and more, right? But it won't be a long talk. But before I jump into it, I just want to quickly share a slight insight before my speech. A former mentor of mine, Ray Kurzweil, he's a futurist, an inventor, someone who's quite renowned in the advanced tech world, wrote a book called The Singularity is Near. And in the book, he spoke about what the singularity is and how it, in his definition, what role is going to play in our society, right? And for those who are not familiar, the term singularity, which is being used in terms of like technology and advanced things, platforms like AI, blockchain, space, and everything, it actually comes from a physics term, right? My father is a teacher in physics and sciences, so I grew up in a household where I was playing with different circuits, astronomy, astrology, the whole nine yards. And this term singularity comes from a physics term where at the point of a black hole, where things begin to be absorbed, where everything starts being pulled into the black hole and the laws of physics begin to fall apart. It's almost as if like everything just starts breaking down and falling apart. And that's where the term singularity comes from. And Ray Kurzweil, in his groundbreaking book, The Singularity is Near, was talking about the fact that because of the society we're getting into, where AI, blockchain, space, nanotechnology, these are technologies that will begin moving so fast that many of our policies, many of our laws, many of our systems can no longer keep up with that level of change taking place. And that's how he coined The Singularity is Near book that he put together. And I think I was moved by the book, but moved by him, and also what we were taught at Singularity University, at NASA Ames in Silicon Valley. And that sort of made me pivot my entire understanding, where my background was actually from the LSE into investment banking, finance, investment, where I dive nose heavy and strongly into advanced technologies, right? And this is, even as much as I've spent years working in governance, such as working for 2 different presidents in Ghana, I still strongly and firmly believe that we have to prioritize technology. So let me just jump into my speech for all of you today, right? So good day, everyone. It's an honor to join you all at this year's GSE Digital Startup Summit, a global gathering of founders, innovators, academics, and industry leaders who are shaping the next decade of human progress. We meet at a remarkable moment in history, a moment defined by the convergence of technologies, artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing, biotechnology, blockchain, and space technologies are no longer moving in parallel. They are merging, accelerating one another, and transforming every sector and society simultaneously. The convergence is creating an era of unparalleled global change, and in that change lies both our greatest risk and our greatest opportunity. We're going to look at the role of AI in accelerating innovation, because AI is quickly becoming the connective tissue of innovation. And it enables startups to scale faster, governments to make smarter decisions, and industries to unlock efficiencies that were impossible a decade ago. What used to take 5 years to build can now be done in 5 months. What required 20 analysts can now be automated with one intelligent system. And I'm living proof of that, where I've worked in a department where sort of perpetuating and doing the work of about 20 plus people with the power of AI. AI is in many ways the force multiplier of human potential. But for emerging markets, especially in Africa, AI represents something even more transformative, a chance to leapfrog, to build new systems rather than inherit outdated ones, and to create technologies that reflect our values, our culture, and of course, our people. And this is why I'm committed to the Ghana AI platform. I step wholeheartedly into this mission, building the official artificial intelligence platform of Ghana, where our goal is simple and ambitious: to make AI accessible across the region and the global diaspora, and to build sovereign AI ecosystems that can shape policy, strengthen industries, train talent, and connect the diaspora expertise into national transformation. Right now, we are curating the architecture for Ghana's AI policy, a data infrastructure for the nation, AI-powered public sector tools, its national skills and database and talent pipeline, and a global community to link in Ghana, Africa, and the diaspora into one innovative engine. Ghana AI is not just a tech initiative, it's a nation-building project and a generational investment into Ghana's future. Right. However, this involves the power of startups and emerging markets. At GSE, we have always believed that startups are the true accelerators of transformation. Startups move quickly, they solve real problems, and they are not held back by legacy systems. Emerging markets like Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and South Asia are not just the backseat of global innovation. They are the frontier. This is why GSE continues to build platforms such as this GSE Digital Startup Summit, the Ghana Tech Summit, of course, the Africa Future Summit, Her Future Summit, Space Tech Summit, AI Tech Summit, and many platforms from the Global Health Summit, Global Investment Summit, and many others. These initiatives power new founders to build world-class companies at home in their own economies. So today, my call to action to all of you is that we are entering a new world, one where every individual, every startup, and every nation must decide how they will engage with artificial intelligence, how they will embrace technological convergence, and how they will contribute to shaping a more inclusive digital future. My message today is simple. Do not sit on the sidelines of this transformation. Build, create, experiment, collaborate. Join ecosystems like the global startup ecosystem. Engage with platforms like the Ghana.ai platform. Use your voice, your skills, and your insights to shape the world we're rapidly entering. The future is not waiting for us, but we can build it boldly and intentionally together. And I'll just, encapsulate all of this to kind of highlight that. My biggest concern right now is for many of us, especially those emerging markets across Ghana and across Africa, if we do not step up and truly understand these technologies, we can perpetually be left behind, being damaged by our lack of understanding and lack of awareness. So whether you are a national leader or you're an individual, where we are now seeing record levels of unemployment, record levels of not hirings because of the talent available via platforms like the AI agents and the like, I stress all of you to learn about these platforms. There's many out there. I know it can be very overwhelming. Pick one tool that you can truly understand and master. I remember being a child when my father brought a computer. I was like 5 years old, and there was one of those old systems. And my father, he always says to me that he wishes that he brought the computer home, that he had learned to even use Microsoft Windows, like the Word and PowerPoint and Excel, and how much it would have advanced his own career perspectives, even though he's quite a stellar individual, right? This is the time like that, but right now it's even more accelerated. So please, I urge all of you to truly try and understand these systems, try and build an awareness about it, try and learn about, especially, I say all of them are very important, but for me, the most important of all these advanced technological tools is artificial intelligence, because it's the force multiplier that converges into every aspect of these different technologies and can enhance our lives and our standard of living very rapidly if we truly choose to really embrace it. So I'll pause here and say thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to all of you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Einstein, Kofi, and Tim. Of course, follow GSC, learn about what is coming forth in the coming years. Next year is going to be phenomenal, where there's a series of programs that we have that are being put in store. And of course, for those on the African continent and in the African diaspora, engage with Ghana.ai and truly learn and take part in the next generation of true transformation for the region and its peoples. Thank you very much. I will pass I'm getting a look. I don't want to monopolize the mic. Thank you, and looking forward to engage with all of you in the coming days and coming weeks. Cheers.
Great. Thank you so much, Einstein, for that amazing keynote on the use of AI as well. It was a real pleasure having Einstein Team, the senior advisor from Ghana.ai, speaking to us. We'll now transition to our next part of the program, where we'll have a panel discussion. The panel is ready and are good to go. The panel is going to be talking about how innovation networks accelerate digital startup. And to help me with this discussion, we have Caitlin Zabriskie and Kevin Catos all joining me for this amazing discussion on the panel. So I'm going to bring them up on stage, and then we'll kick off our discussion. Welcome, Caitlin, and welcome, Kevin.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. Okay. Okay, great. It's a real pleasure having you both here today. And we know that in today's rapidly evolving digital economy, innovation networks play a critical role in helping startups scale faster and build strategic partnerships, as well as gain access to global opportunities. That's why we have you on the panel today. So to kick things off, I'll have you introduce yourselves and briefly tell us how your work connects to innovation and startup ecosystems. I'll start with you, Caitlin.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. I'm Caitlin Zabriskie. Very happy to be with you all today. To start, I am a proud alumni and product of the robust and innovation ecosystem and network at Syracuse University that Bruce Kingma just talked about. We also heard Christine talk about the 2010 Haiti earthquake in her keynote. Funny enough, that was my point of entry into entrepreneurship as well, social entrepreneurship in particular. I became a social entrepreneur and I really fell in love with the work. So that experience was what was the catalyst for me that launched my career into entrepreneurship. I'm currently the Strategic Programs Director at IEEE, which includes leading the IEEE Entrepreneurship Program. For those unfamiliar, IEEE is a global nonprofit and the world's largest technical professional organization. Its mission is to advance technology for the benefit of humanity. So IEEE Entrepreneurship serves that mission by adding value at every stage of an entrepreneur's journey, essentially making it easier and faster to commercialize those technologies that can improve lives and advance entrepreneurship-led global development. Prior to IEEE, briefly, my career has been supporting entrepreneurs and building innovation ecosystems for over a decade in a variety of roles. That includes being an adjunct professor of entrepreneurship, director of operations of a business incubator that delivered 2 deep tech accelerator programs, and most recently, associate director of a portfolio of programs focused on supporting climate technology companies. So pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Great. Welcome once again. And welcome, Kevin, as well. Kindly do introduce yourself and describe the work that you do.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Nice to see you, Stan. Nice to meet you, Caitlin. I'm Kevin Kettles. I lead the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program at Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. I was an entrepreneur for more than 15 years, founding a few different companies, and that's the perspective that really informs my teaching and my work here at the Mike Ilitch School of Business. I'll say that my job, very simply, is to embed myself and my students in the Detroit entrepreneurial ecosystem. So that's for them to understand, here are the options that are available to you if you want to pursue entrepreneurship. So that's why I think this is a really important conversation about innovation networks, because it's critical And so that's what I enjoy doing, is helping my students navigate, those fields and figuring it out so that they can pursue their own entrepreneurial ventures.
Great, great. Welcome to you as well. So I want to kick off the discussion to first discuss why are innovation networks important for early stage digital founders. Back to you, Caitlin.
Sure. So, I would argue innovation networks are important for all founders at any stage, but definitely critical for early stage digital founders because it's providing access to different resources, different knowledge, different relationships that are just hard or impossible to obtain in isolation. So we think about access to expertise and mentorship that can help founders avoid costly mistakes. Investors, so access to funding opportunities, those investors really rely on their own trusted networks to fill their pipelines. Being able to validate ideas quickly and adapt to market needs before investing heavily is dependent on, market insights and validation through partnerships. So all of that to say, really to be able to get to market quickly and with as many or as few road bumps as possible, that is where the innovation network becomes crucial.
Okay. All right. Thank you. How about you, Kevin?
I'd echo much of what Caitlin has already explained. And I'll say that when I started off as an entrepreneur 20 years ago, what I didn't know is what I didn't know. And the only way that you can do that is to enmesh yourself in an ecosystem, in a network like this, so that you have access to funding, knowledge, support. What is a really important part of this is just emotional support and peer support, because it is really difficult starting a new company, especially if you're very early in doing this in your journey, and you don't know what are all the obstacles that you're going to face. And if I look back now on myself, when I was 30 years old, roughly 30 years old, and I was starting that journey, I thought I knew a lot and I really didn't. And, being part of that network and just being open to asking a lot of questions and seeking out resources and seeking out help, this is the smartest and best thing that you can do.
Okay, great. And thank you both for your insights on that. Now, in terms of networks, I want to find out which type of networks are most helpful for digital startups. I know you've alluded to, Bruce also mentioned some earlier as well, but which type of networks do you believe are most helpful to digital startups? Is it the universities, tech groups, or accelerators? Caitlin, back to you again.
Sure. So obviously each one of these types of networks offers distinct advantages, but it really depends on the founder's stage and needs. I would also say that there's some real barriers to navigating and really taking advantage of any of these networks. And I know that was something that kind of came up. So, starting briefly with some of the barriers and then kind of launching into the networks and those options themselves. These networks are scattered, usually across platforms or even geographically. So I think I heard someone else talk about founders really have a hard time knowing where to start to kind of untangle that web. People can experience kind of gatekeeping and exclusivity, which is creating barriers largely for underrepresented founders. There's time and resource constraints as early stage founders try and navigate product development and fundraising. We've seen misaligned incentives. So there are some very real barriers to entrepreneurs navigating these networks in general. So just want to put that on the table as well, that while in theory, we can say, here's the best network for you, there are some things out of their control that can create a barrier for them. So going back to my answer of it really depends on the founder and their stage. So if you're obviously in that deep tech kind of space or really needing a very strong technical foundation, going to that university and research institution is largely going to be your best bet. So, access to kind of cutting edge research, a talent pipeline for interns and graduates for particularly technical startups makes sense. Coming from an incubator and accelerator background, if they're really ready to refine their business model and accelerate their growth, that would be kind of the best bet. So they have that structured program with mentorship, funding, and investor access. Typically, there's a sense of credibility and validation through association with a program like that, and that intensive support for scaling and go to market. So those are just a couple examples, but I'll see what Kevin can add. But I think it really just depends on the startup and what their needs and stage are.
I think that there's different networks that you should try to tap. The challenge when you're a founder is that how do you spend your time? And like you can, spend a lot of time in accelerators and incubators, which I think is a great idea for those who are very early in their entrepreneurial journey, because they have a lot of introductory help that you can get, and it's not difficult to join these. Many of them have, you just join, you pay a membership, you get access to all kinds of programming and networking, which I think is a great idea. You can try technology-specific groups or industry-specific groups. You can do those as well. There's university innovation programs like the one I run here at Wayne State University. I have probably 3 or 4 entrepreneurs who approach me every week who are looking for, ways that they can contribute and network and learn about what we're doing, learn about the innovations that students are developing, the innovations that faculty are developing, and is there any synergy between what they're doing? So as an example, we have a accelerator incubator here in Detroit called New Lab. And we have a lot of companies there that are developing new mobility technologies. And we have researchers and faculty and students. And part of my job is to bring them together, because there are certain things from a research perspective that they can add. And then there's whole other networks around venture capital and funding. We have something called the Michigan Venture Capital Association. And what they do is they bring together investors, venture capitalists, and founders. And basically all their events are everyone mixing. And so that's another great place that if you're at that stage and you're starting to look, you're looking for early stage funding, then that would be a great place to look. So I agree with Caitlin. It sort of depends. You got to figure out how to spend your time. What's, because that as a founder, that's like what was the most difficult thing for me was how do I spend my time? Am I doing RFPs? Am I working on the tech? Am I working on customer service? Am I networking? Like there are 500 different things that I could do every day. And what's the best use of my time? I think that there's some combination of these different types of networks, and you can get something different from each one. And when you're ready to explore one, just go for it. Go talk, practice your pitch, do your pitch, and explain what it is that you're looking for, but also be prepared to give something in value in return.
Right. Amazing. I'm still sticking with you, Kevin. So now that we know networks that they have to go to, whether it's the university or the organizations, I want to find out what simple steps can founders take to join some of these networks, particularly in the university innovation program or something like the IEEE.
I'm sorry, it broke up a little bit. Can you repeat that, or is that was the question?
I want to find out what steps can the founders take to join some of these networks.
Yeah, I kind of alluded to that. Like the accelerators and incubators, typically you can just join as a member. But if you want to approach a program like mine, which I'm trying to embed our entrepreneurship program throughout the ecosystem in Detroit and make it available at every level, is just reach out and say, here I am, here's my story. Is there some way that I can share it? And, if we find things that are mutually beneficial, like I'm always looking for founders, as an example, to serve as mentors, to serve as judges for many competitions that we have, to come speak at our organization And those are some of the ways that you can develop relationships with us and trust. And then that helps meet people. Come to our tech pitch competition, and you can meet faculty who are working on ideas, who are mentoring students. And I'll introduce you to our Office of Technology Commercialization. They have other access to resources. So there's all kinds of things to do, to reach out to a university like mine and find synergy. And I think that we're one component within the ecosystem, and there's many. But don't be shy. Understand your value. Give value in return, and just go for it.
Okay, great. And for you, Caitlin, I want to find out what common mistakes do founders make when trying to join some of these networks, and how do they avoid them?
Sure. So in terms of common mistakes, I think we've talked a lot about building relationships. So I think it's a mistake to approach any of these as a transactional experience. So I need funding. I'm looking for customers. So really, I think Kevin just mentioned, add value first. So sharing insights, volunteering, mentoring, just participating and giving value is the way to approach it instead of thinking of it as transactional. Like anything else, make sure that you're preparing, do your homework. So make sure that you're applying to programs that make sense for you, your type of business. So research that network's mission and tailor your application to show how you make sense. And I also would warn against joining too many networks at once. So, entrepreneurs are very scrappy, and I love this about them, but they're really looking to join any potential, network or any opportunity that can bring value to them in their business, and understanding that. But it becomes really hard to manage and fully take advantage of diving deeply into a network. So, for example, IEEE has over 500,000 members worldwide. It really is the professional home for some, particularly in the technical fields. So trying to join something like that, or even IEEE entrepreneurship, and then their accelerator program or various other types of programs becomes hard to manage. And you're just kind of skimming across the top of multiple networks instead of really taking advantage of one or two that will move that company forward.
Okay, great. So I think last time the keynote before this spoke about AI, and I want to know from you, Kevin, how do you think innovation networks will change in the next few years, given AI and this remote collaboration we have now?
Yeah, I think that what's going to happen.
Did you get me?
Oh, sorry. I think what's going to happen with innovation networks is that, and we're seeing this happen right now, is they're going to become more specialized. And we're going to have more narrow focus and more expertise that grows within a particular network. And so this is kind of what we're saying is that, pick which network that it will be the most fruitful for you. And when you're having these interactions, focus on quality interactions. So as an example, don't ask a whole bunch of people the same question or make the same request. Get to know the people that you're networking with, and ask them something that you think that they can help you with based on what you know about them individually. Like there's nothing that I really appreciate it when someone approaches me and says, "Hey, can you give me a feedback on this, or do you have an opinion on this?" And it's something, and it's in an area where I have some background or expertise, or some place that I can help them and I can offer them something of value, rather than someone who is, rapid fire, like a large number of people, the same question and the same request. Get to know people, develop a relationship, and it's a give and take that's based on what you know about them.
Okay. How about you, Caitlin?
So in terms of the role of AI, I think we're going to see a more level playing field. I think there's going to be an inevitable global inclusivity that diverse founders from emerging markets can access those top tier networks that may not be in their immediate geography. Just so in general, being able to take advantage of virtual first incubator services. But I think that global inclusivity is going to see how AI is going to positively impact that, as well as maybe some of the powered matching and personalization. So we talked about how do you prioritize your time? I think AI could be a network concierge to analyze the startup, the profile, the goals of that startup, and recommend maybe tailored connections, funding sources, and resources in a way that they kind of had to get a feel for that themselves. Maybe AI can accelerate that process for them in the future.
Okay, great. And finally, before we leave, right, what one key piece of advice would you give our founders of today about using innovation effectively? I'm sure you've alluded to this throughout your speech, but yeah, let's wrap it up into one key advice for our founders today. Start with you, Kevin, and then Caitlin.
I would say it is create genuine relationships based on trust and mutual benefit. Don't just take value, you give value, and be generally interested in helping others. A very easy way to do this, as an example, is help people connect. And I know that I have certain people in my network, they just love to do this. They help people connect. Like, they see that one person has this knowledge or experience or whatever, and they send an email and they introduce one person and to another and say, hey, I think you two would really benefit from knowing each other. And that's one way to show value and build relationships. And so I try to do this myself, and I try to connect people. I do a lot of connecting with my students, but I try to do this generally within the ecosystem, and that's one way to build value and genuine reciprocal relationships.
Okay, Caitlin.
Sure. So just really essentially echoing, but it's worth repeating and worth doubling down on. You really get out what you put in. So you don't just join these networks, right? You need to engage, and you need to engage people. So showing up consistently, attending events just like this, staying visible, offering value, as Kevin said, and following up and really nurturing those connections. So they talk about in fundraising, it's very easy to raise money when you don't need it. So the same can be said in nurturing your network. Make sure that you are nurturing those relationships. And when you do need something, it is much easier of an ask because you already have the relationship built. So just doubling down that it is all about relationships and getting at what you put in.
Great. Thank you both so much for joining us today for this amazing discussion on how innovation networks accelerate digital startups. It was a real pleasure hearing from you both, and thank you for your insights shared and the things that you do. And briefly before you go, just let us know if anyone wants to reach out to you concerning the networks. What was the best channel to use?
Sure, I'm happy to start. So would be very happy to hear from any of you. I am on LinkedIn as well. I'm sure there's a way to share that. And then, my professional email, I'm happy to share. Otherwise, if you go to entrepreneurship.ieee.org, you can access me through that website as well.
I'm on LinkedIn as well, Kevin Kettles, and you can see the spelling, Ketels, my last name. It's very easy to find me. I don't think anybody shares the same profile, so happy to connect with anybody, and feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you.
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure having you both. Bye.
And
okay, so that was our panel with Kevin and Caitlin joining us for such an amazing discussion on these innovation networks and how to join them. We are moving on within our schedule, and we will now have our next keynote. The next keynote will be by Dr. Nino Imua, who is the Managing Director of Finalists Corporation. And it's a real pleasure inviting her back to GSE since she's been here before. And I'm really excited to have her at the GSE Digital Startup Summit. Welcome, Dr. Anino.
Hi, Stanil.
Welcome.
Hi, I hope you can hear me very well.
Loud and clear. So I'll leave the
Great.
stage for you so you could kick on with your keynotes.
Thank you. Well, first of all, hi, everybody who is here. I can't see you, I can't hear you, but I hope you're going to interact with us somehow, whatever means you have to interact. The first thing is, these are exciting times. And Daniel, thank you. I've had the opportunity to be with you several times in the past, but these are truly exciting times to be a digital entrepreneur. And I want to start off by just, continuing off from the last panel with Caitlin and Kevin, really on the topic of the networks, innovation networks. But truly, there are important points that we should remember about that. And one thing, it's about building relationships. Whatever it is you're getting, whether it's skills, knowledge, looking for financing or funding, you are building relationships, and those are critical and key, because those relationships become your social capital. We're used to thinking about capital in terms of money, which of course is critically important, but social capital is really important. Now, I want to give you a quick example of the power of these innovation networks. Very simply this. A few years ago, and part of my work is working with entrepreneurs in terms of mentoring, advising, sitting on boards, and a lot of that, in fact, my doctoral studies were about overcoming barriers to finance for entrepreneurs. So that has been, my background for very, very many years. And I had a group of these founders, right, who had approached me, and I started off with mentoring with their idea. And this was back in Nigeria. I'm in France, but I was back in Nigeria visiting home. And we talked about their idea, which was absolutely fantastic. And it was literally go for it. And along the period, right from when they were starting up the business, I was there with them, and eventually got on the board, etc. But it got to a stage where they were asking for my advice, and I said to them, at this stage where you are tech entrepreneurs, the value of my advice, I can't give you that quality of advice anymore. You need to be in an innovation network. And so they looked at the checks, they couldn't find anything that they thought would suit them. And for some reason, I had joined the summer school for the Y Combinator, and I told them about it. And these guys joined the Y School summer school of YC Combinator, which many of you would know is probably the innovation network based out in Silicon Valley in San Francisco. They joined it online from Nigeria, and from then on, they got onto the Y Combinator program, which is, of course, one of the most competitive. And guess what? Y Combinator actually invested in the company when they were looking for funding, and eventually they got some funding. This was really just startup funding, and then they then raised $2 million after a couple of years. So that tells you the power of these networks, irrespective of where you are, because I know that on this, especially those of us coming from Africa or developing countries, you think you're far away, but these are really the possibilities. But but why it's so exciting today, the last panel talked a bit about AI. My first talk at a university, business talk on AI, I think was in 2018 or 2019 or something like that. And talking about it, it was something that was really strange. People, of course, had heard about AI, but not the way in which it would affect us daily as it did. But this was the time where we're talking about the fourth industrial revolution and how AI was going to revolutionize what it is we're doing. And that gives us a flavor of the speed of change that is happening in your sector as digital entrepreneurs, digital creators. And when you're looking and you're saying, how do you navigate this? The networks become very important, because if I had a chat, I would ask you, how many digital tools are you using in today's world? I can't count how many I'm using. You probably can't count how many I'm using. Even if you are a digital creator and you are creating tools, you are creating lots of tools, using lots of tools. And how do you navigate a system where the tools are changing so often? If you were to test out these tools, you'd spend your time testing tools and not doing your work. And this is where networks with your peers are really critically important, because you get to know what's good in your environment, in your sector, in your subsector, what works, what doesn't work. The other thing in the digital innovation is, if you look at it, not only do you look at the tools that you're using, look at which tools no longer exist. And that is, they become obsolete and change is so quick. And you need to get on top of this, using the tools, developing your own tools, and making sure that you are really riding the system. So it's an exciting time, but it's also a time where you have to keep up with what is going on. So today we have, artificial intelligence. We're moving to artificial general intelligence, and so much more is being built on these digital platforms. But there's something that, for those of you who are in Web3, one thing that is going to happen, we don't know when, is that the digital platforms that we're looking at today, and we call this a Web 2.0, we're moving to Web 3.0, where we're going to have Web3 with blockchain powering those platforms, and it'll be a different type of innovations we see on that. So these are just some of the few trends that as digital innovators and entrepreneurs you need to look for. So it is really an exciting time. And another little story for myself, my work is in consulting. I run communities of women in business leadership. I speak a lot on innovation, entrepreneurship, etc. And one day I was just sitting down there, checked my email, and I saw a message from LinkedIn saying, please join our creator program. And I thought, what? I never saw myself as a creator. And this is just to tell you, in today's world, when you're creating content, we're all part of this system in some form or fashion. So as a digital entrepreneur, it's likely that you're creating content because that's the way you engage with audiences, that's the way you engage with partners, that's where you build trust in the digital world, and you are a creator of some sort. So it's important to be looking at what are you putting out there as a digital entrepreneur. Is it consistent? And is it in brand, right, or on brand with what it is I'm trying to do? Because people will look at your digital footprint, and if you are truly building this brand, you need to be sure that what you're doing online is also consistent. And just to tell you that people are watching, people are looking at it, and it's not only your potential customers in sense of your community, people who follow you. The most important people that for you are probably the most silent. And who are those? Big brands, investors. But many of them are absolutely watching what you're doing. So here you are in an innovation hub. Here is your offering, etc. And you look at it as one thing. You don't actually realize that these people are actually looking to see what you are learning from you online as well. Lastly, when we're talking about innovation networks, another innovation network, I'm not sure if it was talked about, are companies. Big organizations create their own innovation networks. And the simple reason is innovation is moving at such a fast pace. They cannot innovate completely on anything. So they are searching outside to see what is happening there, who are the innovators, does this align with my brand? So also try and see through big businesses, right, who you align with, and see the innovation networks and see if this is something you can get into. But they are out there looking for you, so you need to have that visibility so that they can see what it is you're doing. So yes, you get your knowledge and skills from these networks. You get market access as well. Probably funding is a great way. Innovation hubs are great ways to get funding from. Eventually, they're great ways to actually learn about what is happening, not just in your field, but across technology, what works and what isn't working. But based on that, it's based on the relationships and the collaborations that you develop. And those relationships and collaborations extend far beyond just what you want at that point in time. Some of them are going to extend for the whole lifetime of your business. You start to develop relationships with people that you couldn't imagine. And sometimes these are even digital. You might not even get to meet some of these people ever, and some of them you might get to meet years after. So these need to be cultured. You need to make sure that you are developing and you are consistent with your message. It doesn't mean you don't pivot, but in terms of the values that you bring to you're bringing into the field, your reputation is being built digitally as much as your product is being digitally is digital. So these are truly, truly exciting times for you. Things are changing quickly. You need to get up to speed on what's happening, but try not to get too overwhelmed with what is happening out there by having those networks where you're dealing with your peers, but also with investors, etc. We've talked about and learning what is happening. One last word I would say as well is that, as Caitlin said, don't join too many. It is handy to look at networks that are close to you, physically close to you, so that you can have that sort of physical face-to-face interaction, but also look at what's the global ones as well, because what's happening globally transcends borders as well. So you need to make sure that your information and knowledge is not just local, but is also absolutely global. So just to summarize, digital startups today are facing unprecedented change, exciting change, and with that, tremendous opportunity. And but you can't stay ahead on your own. Make sure you have those networks. Make sure you grow your social capital. Make sure you acquire the knowledge, access to markets and partnerships. Build those relationships based on trust, and look to others and look for those mentors. And at one stage, you will find yourself becoming a mentor as well to those who are coming up after you. So exciting times, and wishing you all the best of luck. Do please reach out to me on LinkedIn at Dr. Anino Emua. You'll find me there, and hope to hear from one or two of you. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anino. Amazing. It's always amazing having you on, and thank you so much for your time and your thought leadership today. Just one question that popped up in the chat. How do you deal with external politics?
That is a broad question, and it could mean so many things, right? But what I say about that, first of all, is it depends on whether the politics are relating to the organization that you're in, right? Or it's external to you, because you have to be careful. Sometimes there's some instances where you ignore. Just because there's a lot of noise doesn't mean you deal with a lot of noise. So you have to know which ones are you ignoring. If that noise is coming from potential partners or people who have an interest in what it is you're doing. When I say an interest, I mean, for example, are they potential funders, etc. Then you have to negotiate it very, very carefully. But also, it depends on where it's if it's coming from a network that you belong into as well. Within that network, there might be tools for you to be able to deal with them. For example, if it's really disruptive, for example, then you can speak to people who are running it. If it's the wrong place and the people are not dealing with it, then move. But like everything else, this is wisdom. Wisdom is the best way to deal with external politics. What you need to ignore, what you need to just deal with politely, but certainly not something that is being disruptive to your business. That is something that you have to take decisive action.
Right. Thank you so much for that as well. And thank you once again for your time and your thought leadership today. It's always a pleasure having you on, and hopefully collaborate in the future as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Daniel. Bye, everybody, and all the best.
All right. So that was our keynote speaker, Dr. Anino Emua, who is amazing, as you can tell, and she shared a lot of the leadership with us. Things are changing rapidly, so try to get on with it and do not get overwhelmed. Okay. We'll now transition to our next keynote in the person of Ryan Froland. It's my pleasure to welcome him to the GSE Digital Startup Summit and bringing him back up on stage now. Welcome, Ryan.
Ahoy, great to be here again. I feel like I just saw you like last week.
Yeah. Always a pleasure having you.
Yes, well, it's all of our pleasure. It's great to have so many people joining, and it's crazy that we're all here hanging out together. Well, let me get my presentation up on the screen. Let's see. Share screen. Open systems. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's giving me a little grief here. What the tech? Asking me for permissions. It might actually kick me out. If this kicks me out because it's asking to get access, well, let me see if I can do this first. Yeah, all right. Shoot, I don't know if it's going to let me share. Give me 1 second because the file, let's see, share screen. Wait, share slides in PDF. No, on your computer. Let me see something real quick. All this anticipation, and then he's like, hey, what's going on? Well, okay, let me click here. Let me see if it lets me pull it up from a different spot on my computer. Upload, or currently slide, upload files, downloads. Let's see. Do. Okay. Let's see if this works. Ah, the size didn't work. They didn't. My presentation's too big. Oh my gosh. Let me see if we can do this. It's not letting me window. Okay, wait a minute. We might be onto it. Here we go. Can you see my screen? Let me see. I want to make sure because I don't see you. Okay. You can see my screen, right? All right, there we go. So I guess I can't see it. So let me go up here. Wait a minute. This is the best start I've ever had. Oh my gosh, it's got the wrong PowerPoint. So stop screen, present, slides and PDFs. All right, I think this should be it. And I believe I need to now put it onto full screen. My goodness. All right. Well, let's warm up a little bit. We're going to do some claptivities here. Now, I'd encourage you to join me if you can. We just want to get warmed up. So I want to see and experience a slow clap. Now, you might be silly clapping by yourself at home, but it's okay. So that's a slow clap. So all makes sense soon. Next, fast clap. All right. Try it out yourself. Next is a loud clap. I'm going to scoot back so I don't blast your ears out. Woo! Probably popping the microphone there. Next, a quiet clap. Next is a roller coaster clap. Up and then down, and then up and then down. Now, I want you to put on a smile, put your happy face on, smile, and I want you to clap. You'll notice it's an uplifting clap. Now, if we go to our angry clap, get your angry face on, get something you're angry with, angry. You can tell it's like translates to angry. My name is Ryan Folan. I'm a speaker, I'm a sailor, I'm an author, and I'm a very proud ginger. And today I'm going to help you in a very short amount of time to get your speakership together. Now, we are going to talk about elevator pitches, and there's two elements. One is what to say. The other is how to say it. This is going to just cover briefly on what to say, and I'm going to focus majority time on how we say it. I'm also the director of the Entrepreneur Center at UC Irvine. I've worked with entrepreneurs of all ages and all levels for the last decade. We see ourselves in the middle of this crazy ecosystem here in Southern California, all the way up to Los Angeles, where we help with funding, support ideation. We've got on campus, off campus. It's a little bit overwhelming, but we are connected everywhere. And before I get going, I want to just take a pulse. How confident are you at pitching yourself or your business on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, think about that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at pitching? And I don't see the chat, but I'm just going to trust that you're doing it. Drop in the chat. Are you at a 5, a 6, a 7? Are you at a 10? Should you be running this workshop? It's good for you to identify right now, pick a number of how confident you are. We're going to see if we can increase that number. When it comes to what to say, I'm just going to cover this very briefly. I've devised a framework that I call the 313 sandwich. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this looks more like a burger, Ryan. Well, it does look like a burger. Call it the sandwich, call it the burger, potato, whatever you want. It is a formula for an elevator pitch, a regular pitch, how you present your ideas. And it looks like this. It's an easy framework to remember because it's got a story at the beginning and a story at the bottom. Those are the buns. The good stuff in the middle, what you always have to communicate, is the problem, the solution, and the market. And the nice thing about this structure is that you can incorporate all that you want to incorporate. It's a format that's easy to follow, and really you have a lot to cover, but this helps keep you on track. I believe it's always important to start with a story. You know what? People don't want to hear data, facts, and stats. You want to bring them in with a story. So you can literally say, this one time, or I was doing this. Jump right into the story. The story should set up the problem. So the story uncovers that there's a problem. You transition. This wasn't only my problem. This is a problem that blank people are having. And you describe the problem. You focus on the problem before your solution, because if you just share your solution, people are going to be like, I've heard that before. But if you focus on the problem you're solving, then you might get people interested in how you're going to solve it. So that opens up the opportunity for you to talk about, well, good news is I have a solution. You talk about your solution, your secret sauce, your magic pills, and then you have to clarify. This is not for everyone. Because it's not. If you're for anyone or everyone, you're for no one. So it takes an opportunity within the pitch to clarify who your target market is, and then you paint the picture of what the world will look like when your solution's in place. And so what this does is it creates a nice framework where the story uncovers the problem, then you talk about your solution, then you talk about your market, then you talk about your story that has changed with your technology, service, or product to change that. It's a full open closed loop. And the nice thing is that it's a structure in which you can fit any of the information that you want. Now, these slides here, the 10, these are Robert Kiyosaki's 10 slides that you should have in a pitch deck. I'm not saying you have to have this, but as an example, if you're in a pitch competition or there are certain things in a rubric that you are supposed to share, anything you would share in a pitch can fit into either the story, the problem, the solution, the market, and that's it. So you can customize your burger sandwich to package this into a 30-second pitch, a 1-minute pitch, a 2-minute pitch. It could be an outline for a longer pitch, but this is a framework that I've been teaching for over a decade. We don't have time to dive into it today, but that's the foundation of what you would say. Now, let me tell you a story. And the story, believe it or not, is actually about 2 rattlesnakes. That's right. Now, I do a lot of sailing to Catalina. The ocean is my potion. And if I wasn't here, I'd probably be out on the ocean somewhere. And there's a particular spot that I go to. It's called Big Geiger Cove. This is my little sailboat. This is bingo. This is me in my happy place. And one day this summer, I decided that I was going to go paddleboarding. So I go to my paddleboard. But the thing is that this is my tree house that I built a long time ago. It's become a storage. So I go to get my paddleboard. And then I didn't really realize it at the time, but I heard this soft brrr. I was like, oh, didn't really think anything of it. And then I got closer to the board and I heard brrr. And I was like, what? So I grabbed my board. And then all of a sudden I hear this brrr, 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 brrr. And this, my friends, this huge, gigantic rattlesnake comes out from under the board. And I'm like, drop the board, got my camera, got some footage of it. And it scared the living shit out of me. So I had a good paddleboard, but then when I came back, I decided I did not want to go to the treehouse. So I went to put my paddleboard away at another spot, and then I heard another brr, 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 brr. And then I looked. I'm going to zoom in here. Look at that rattlesnake. It's another one. Look at his face. He's looking at me with sticking out his tongue, and he's like, whew. So why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you the story because I was so scared. I literally jumped back to the boat. I wanted nothing to do with land. And I'm sitting on the back of my boat, and I'm just thinking, like, wow, that was crazy. 2 rattlesnakes one day. And I've got my book, Speakership, and I'm thinking to myself, and you know what I realized? I realized that rattlesnakes are great communicators. That's right. They were talking to me the whole time. And we can learn a lot from rattlesnakes when it comes to our elevator pitch. I'm here today to get your speakership together. Happens to be the title of my newest book, Speakership, a stick figure illustrated guide to public speaking. Now, why am I somebody here who can share with you this information on what to say and how to say it? Well, it's because I say a lot. I've been featured in just about every publication that is business oriented. I was nominated as Innovator of the Year in 2024. I got the TCVN Rocky's Most Fundable Award from TCVN. I've got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 TEDx talks, and I'm talking with somebody in India tonight about inviting me possibly to do my 5th. I've spoken around the world, including at a lot of the summits that the GSE puts on, been on television, done all these things. I've got 4 podcasts, one about sailing, one about startups, one about speaking, and I just launched a new podcast this last week called Career Flair, helping people become business ready. My first book, Ditch the Act, is all about authentic branding and how to build a brand without being cringe. My next book is Speakership, and let's get back to the snake. So what did the snake really do from a communication standpoint that we can learn from? Well, there's 4 different types of rattles that it was doing. It had a slow rattle, brr, brr, kind of warning me, and then a fast rattle when I got close. Brr. It was quiet at times, brr, and it was loud at times. Brr. There was a variety. It wasn't just one rattle. It was brr, it was like talking to me. And finally, the tone, if you looked at his face, he was looking very serious snake style, like looking at me going, and I was like, oh gosh. So here is where we actually want to take a pause, because I would like to have a volunteer come up and give their 30-second elevator pitch. So I'd like to have somebody come up and identify themselves. Stanley, if you can help me with this, let me get over to my screen where I see here. Who would like to join? Yes, my friend, are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. On your mark, get set, go.
Thank you. So my name is Oluwatobi Adeogun. I am CEO and co-founder at Trivix, Nigeria. So at Trivix, we are redefining industrial cybersecurity for emerging markets. Our platform integrates cloud-native SCADA, AI-driven, and anomaly detection systems and industrial hardware to deliver secure, scalable, and real-time operational control. So beyond security, we offer productivity insights and secure file sharing, bridging operational technology and IT in a unified system. That makes us unique. So we are targeting mid-sized utilities, energy companies, and industrial players. Trivix provides a modern alternative to expensive legacy SCADA systems. So what we are doing is building an alternative to legacy SCADA systems that would enable clients to digitalize safely, efficiently, and confidently. Trivix is located in Lagos, Nigeria. We're a startup, and we're looking to scale. Thank you very much.
Excellent work. Excellent work. All right. Now get out of here. And as you do, actually, before you leave, now I don't see much activity in the chat, but I want people to judge you. I'm sorry. I want them to judge you on a scale of 0 to 10. I don't think you're going to get any zeros, but if you're in the chat, I want you to a number between 0 and 10. And I want you, what would you give yourself? A number of 0 to 10. If you were standing outside and you're watching this, what would you say? Be honest.
8. 8 over 10.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd give you more like a 5.5 or 6. Ooh. And I'll explain why. All right. But
Right.
hey, you're there. Any other people in the audience you want to give them between a 0 to 10? Anyone? They might jump that in there. All right, Stanley, let's get this gentleman out of here, and we might see you in a minute. but hang tight because we got more for you. All right, let me share my screen again. Oh, I think it's still sharing. Let me click here and blow it up. All right, so how was it? Right, I said 5.5, you said 8, and I didn't see any in the chat, but I know you were thinking. So let's talk about what we can learn from the snake. In particular, we're going to talk about 4 vocal levers that you can choose to use. These are how you build your speakership: the rate of speech, volume, your vocal variety, and your tone. Let's talk about the rate of speech. The rule of thumb is that if you are speaking context, it's okay to speed it up. It's okay to sort of set the scene. It's okay to talk about stuff fast. But the reality is, if you speak fast the entire time, I have no idea what is important. And for our volunteer, you know what? You basically talked fast almost the whole time. There was no point where you actually slowed down. I want everybody to look at this next slide. Take a screenshot, take a photo if you want. This is simple but powerful. This is your speaking speedometer. If you are sharing things that are important, you need to slow down. If you're talking about details, you need to be slow. If you're talking about something that's sort of normal, maybe that's in your mid-range, that's your baseline, where you're at your base. But then when you're speaking context, it's okay to speed it up a little bit. And then when you're telling stories, stories can be exciting, you can have energy to it, and then you can speed up because you're telling the story. So if it's contextual, it's okay to speed it up, but slow down for the important stuff. I know it feels weird, but listen, if somebody is experiencing your talk, your idea for the first time, and you're just sitting there like a machine gun and just talking about it, and this is what I'm doing here, and here's marketing, you're like, what? If I asked people to recall the details, the important stuff from that last elevator pitch, would they be able to pull the details out? I don't know, because things went by so fast. Remember, if it's contextual, speed it up. If it's storytelling, if it's context, but slow down for the important stuff. Your ability to pump those brakes will help people know what's most important in what you're saying. It's a simple and extremely powerful move, especially with an elevator pitch. Take the most important thing and slow down when you say it. That's what people remember, and that's what's important. Next up, volume. A lot of people say that I have high energy. Okay? Secret is, I'm just loud. The reality is that volume has energy. It has life. It has, when you're quiet, you sort of lose that energy. So we also have a volume speedometer. If you're trying to create intimacy and even trust, you want to have a lower volume. If you're trying to be clear, you should be audible. It should be at that baseline. If you want to project a little bit of confidence, then maybe you say it a little bit louder. And if you want something in your elevator speech to pop, something that is saving lives or super exciting, you say it with a little bit more volume. It's crazy how much difference it can be when you're playing with the speed, when you're playing with the volume. And this may seem simple. You're like, oh yeah, I get it. But then when you're on stage, you just machine gun the whole thing, and it's just fast. And then you say it all at the same volume the whole time. I don't know what's important. And as you've noticed in this talk, I'm playing with these different levers. I've lowered my volume a little bit. I'm calming down. And the information that I'm sharing comes across a little bit differently than if I were to be like, yeah, let's go. All right. So volume is energy. Choose and pick your energy. You don't want to be shouting at people the whole time, but you want to find times that you are loud. And you might want to find times when you're a little softer. It so changes things up and helps your audience. Now, pitch and melody. This is what makes your voice go up and down. And the reality is that a lot of times we forget about this, and then we just kind of get into this monotone, and then we just talk monotone. I'm sure that you've been on a call or in a class where someone just talks totally the same monotone the entire time. Nothing goes up and down, and you're just like, what are they saying? It just sounds like wah, wah, wah. Make your words go up and down. How do you practice this? It's super simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. You take a sentence, or you take an element, or you take your whole pitch, and you just experiment with things going up and with things going down. And then you'll find that it actually adds a lot more to what it is that you're saying. People want to be entertained. They want to be evoked. They want to be there. They want to feel like you're with them. And if you are just talking like this the whole time, there's not much engagement, and your brain is dynamic and it gets bored easily. So make what you say go up and go down. Most of us just stay in the vocal range. We never go up. We never go down. And that's boring. Tonality, your tone. What's crazy about this is that tone comes from your face. Let me say that again. Tone comes from your face. People are looking at you and they are taking context from your face. The reality is we've got 6 major emotions: happy, sad, angry, surprised, disgusted, fearful. Those are the main 6 emotions. And there are like hundreds of thousands in between with all these micro movements that your face does. As a human, you're always reading subconsciously the presenter's face. And what happens, and what did happen in our example, is that people forget to set the tone that they want. You actually like forget what your face is doing. If you're saying something that is exciting, you should say it with a smile. So many times I have seen this. Ready? I'm super excited about this project. This is something that's going to change lives. It's going to be fantastic. What I'm saying doesn't match with my tone. And the reality is that, and the studies show that when your body language is in conflict with what you're saying, your body always wins. So let's say I have a really late night tonight, right? I've got this call in India. It's like 12:30. And let's say that I keep my wife up and I'm loud, and she comes afterwards. She's like, "You just woke me up. This is not fun, blah, blah, blah." And then she's got her arms folded, and I look at her. I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And she goes like this. She goes, "That's fine. It's no big deal." What is she actually saying? She's verbally saying, "No, it's fine. No big deal." But her body is saying, not cool. And so in order to set the tone, think about what you want your face to do, and that will help to make the words come out in that tone. Okay? So if you're saying, "I'm super excited about this project," say it with a smile. It's going to come across as happy. It's something that you forget about because you're caught up with so many other things. Rate of speech. Speed up for context and energy. Slow down for the important stuff. Volume. If you have a low volume, not so much energetic. When it gets louder and you play with it, you find times to get loud. Vocal variety. You need to try it a little differently because nobody wants to hear a monotone talk. They want something that's a little bit more melodical. And tone comes from your face. All right, take 2. I'm getting out so I can come back. Stanley, let's get my friend back up here. I want you to bring him on stage one more time, and we're going to do a little second try. All right, let me stop sharing my screen so we can... Oh, there we go. All right. And buddy, how do you say your name?
Toby.
Toby. Okay, Toby. Toby, let's talk for a second here. Now,
Sure.
Maybe you're seeing why I put you at a 5.5 after all of that, okay?
Yes,
Do you think
yes.
from a rate of speech, you basically blasted through the whole thing? I can't remember one time where you slowed down to make it important. So my question to you, of your pitch, and you're going to do the same thing again, okay? I'm not changing structurally. We're talking about how you're doing it. You tell me the 2 most important things. If I'm going to leave, the 2 things that are most important for me to understand as an audience, what are those? Just tell me. What do you think they are?
Okay, first thing is what you are saying, the information you are passing across is very important, and then your facial expression.
No. In your speech, in your talk, dude, in your pitch.
Okay.
What is an
in my
important
pitch.
piece of information?
All right. So, 1, we are a digital company. 2, we offer industrial and cybersecurity for emerging
Okay, so
markets.
digital company, is that's super important. What everybody's a digital company. What's important about that?
Okay, so we offer cybersecurity solutions and also productivity solutions in a unified platform. So that's
Okay. So
actually
what's important? Is it that you
yeah,
offer them, or is it the unified platform? What's the important stuff
the
there?
unified platform. The unified platform. Yeah.
All right. When you do your talk, and we're going to do it again, and when you talk about your unified platform, slow the F down. I want you to be
All
like,
right.
now, we're not like every other digital company or whatever else. We are a unified platform, which means everything you need is in one spot. It feels like what, but slow down. And then all of a sudden you'll feel the world like, and they'll listen to that. Okay. Is there one other thing in the end, towards the end, that is important? Like, what's your call to action? What's your takeaway? What do you need from the audience?
All right. So I want the audience to know that we offer the solutions, and then these are the solutions that actually meet the needs of companies and like industries like SMEs.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I want you to
SMEs,
say, no, it's not just that we have the solution, but we have the solution that specifically solves the needs of SMBs.
Correct.
It's got a nice, whatever it is, right? Small, medium-sized business, but slow down during that part. So those two spots, you're going to like really slow down. And for the other, it's okay. Like, I'm not trying to make you sluggish through the whole thing, but you've got to play with a little of that. And if in the middle of your pitch, you're thinking to yourself, oh shit, this is also important, just slow it down a little bit. Okay. Now, when it comes to your volume, you stayed at the same volume, bro, the whole time. What is an element that's like intimate that you could be lower? And what's something that you could be like, energy? Let's pick one and then the other. What's something that's like, you really want to like break it down and have it soft? What's something in your pitch that would be important to come across as like trustworthy or something like that?
Yes. So the legacy platforms. So we are trying to like eradicate legacy platforms, and then to ensure that we are bringing in new SCADA solutions.
Okay.
AI.
So say that at a lower volume. Now, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to deal with these legacy solutions, just like a calm, like you're talking to a young child who is distracted. You're just like calm. Okay. It's going to be good. Now, when it comes to the vocal variety, I feel like you fairly did well because you're kind of like up and down, but I want you to find a couple times when you just like, you play with it. It either goes up or it goes down. Okay. Up or down. And you just play with it, but it may seem weird, but it's going to come across better. And the final thing is the tone. Bro, are you excited about this at all?
Yes, I'm excited.
Okay. Well, see that smile right there? That's a smile. I put in my notes, you didn't smile at all the whole time, like full teeth smile. So what are you most excited about in this talk? I want you to find two spots that you're really excited.
Okay. First is we being a company that offers cybersecurity, SCADA, like eradicating the SCADA systems, and also looking for funding. Looking for funding.
Okay, hold on, stop. You're not smiling right now. You did exactly what you did. You're just like, oh, we're really like this. We're like this. So just to look at that smile. Look at that. You're lit up right now. Okay. I want you to, even if it feels fake, okay, I want you to put on the fake smile. Okay. And be like,
okay.
Here's a quick example. Let me share something. Take the smile and say good afternoon. Big smile, fake smile, and tell me good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Now put a frown on, like frown. Tell me good afternoon now.
Good afternoon.
Do you hear the difference?
Yeah, I do.
Big difference. It's because your face sets the tone. So when you talk about the parts that are exciting, and let's do this with the funding in the end. Like, are you raising funds?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So say with a smile, we're raising $600 billion. Yeah, just like that. Okay. It is exciting, but you literally, if you don't do it, people read the tone in your face.
People read tone.
Okay.
Yeah.
The final thing I'll share with you here is, and don't take offense to this, nobody cares who you are until they have a reason to care. So why are you starting with your name and your company when we're not going to remember that? So I want you to start right into it. And then at the end, you say, if this resonates with you, smile. If this resonates with you and you want to join our team, my name is so-and-so, and this is who our company is. You say that at the end, it's easier for me to remember. It's easier for me to take notes. I'm not distracted. Okay?
Correct.
So to recap, you're going to get on stage again. You're going to start without saying your name or company. You're going to jump right into it. You're not going to machine gun the whole time. You're going to slow down when you talk about, now we're a digital company. You're going to slow down when you talk about who you work with the SMBs and things like that. You're going to work on your volume, find times that are the intimate when you talk about these multi-platform. You're going to tone that down so they really get it. And then when you're talking about funding, pop it up a little bit and be like, we're looking for this much money. Like there's some energy with it. Nobody wants to give money to somebody who's like, I'm looking for money. Right?
Right.
Okay. Honestly, this energy you have right now is like, even though you're not pitching, like I want to invest in you. And I know everybody else feels the same. All right. So here we go. On your mark, get set, pitch.
Right, sir. Yeah. Good morning. Good afternoon. Trivix is redefining industrial cybersecurity for emerging markets. Our platform integrates cloud native SCADA, AI-driven anomaly detection, digital twin visualization, and rugged industrial hardware to deliver secure, scalable, and real-time operational control. Beyond security,
speed it up now. Get a
we
little energy.
offer productivity insights. Beyond security, we offer productivity insights and secure file sharing, bridging operational technology and IT in a unified system. That's our key selling point. Targeting mid-sized utilities, energy companies, and industrial players, Trivix provides a modern alternative to expensive legacy SCADA systems. And this would enable clients to digitalize safely, efficiently, and confidently. We are currently raising funds and we are asking for $2 million. Thank you.
And my name is, if you're interested.
My name is Oluwatobi Adeogun. If you're interested in following us, so my name is Oluwatobi Adeogun. I'm CEO and co-founder at Trivix Nigeria. Bye.
All right. Now, everybody, it looks like you got a 9 from last time, but I'll give you like an 8 now, right? How did that feel? I'm telling you, it came across
Feels
so
good.
You know what else happened?
Yeah.
You didn't do this. Like if you watch the replay, your eyes were all over the place. You were like, you're just like, and here you were like engaged. You're in it. You had good vocal variety. There's still a lot of work that you can do, but I want everybody on this call to just ask yourself, what is the most important? Slow down. Where do you want energy? Be loud. What do you want to, do you want to put them to sleep? No, then just try a little vocal variety. You went up a couple times and then your tone is your face. And you didn't even realize it, but when you were talking about like, there was this moment where you're talking about the problem and you had this like surprise, like disgusted look on your face. You're like, oh, you almost went back and we felt it. And you're asked for $2 million with your big old smile, so much more effective. Okay. How did it feel? Was it good?
Feels good.
Okay. It's only going to get better, Toby. All right. Everybody give him a shout out. This was great. You should go back and watch the recording and look at the difference and keep with these things. It's not changing what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
It's changing how you say it. You see how I just slowed down there, made it dramatic? All right. Let's get you out of here. Congratulations. Good job on that. Let me go back to here and go full screen. So how was it? Well, it was so much better. So much better. Now, listen, the reality is if you want to stand out in a sea of sameness, it's going to be how you communicate. There's so many people that are pitching and they all seem the same, but those who communicate at the highest level of how using these levers, it's going to work. All right, now let me wrap this up. If we were live, I do a wrap clap. Here we go. Here we go. If you want the gift of gab, I've got a book for you. 4 simple levers that you can choose to use. Rate of speech is lever number 1. When you speak both fast and slow, it can be very fun. If you're speaking context, it's okay to speed it up, but slow down for the important stuff. The second lever you can use makes speeches come alive. It's the volume that you use your words, either low or high. Find times in your pitch when you can get loud. It will liven up your message and resonate with the crowd. Lever number 3 is vocal variety. Go up and down, you'll sound profound. The final lever is your face. It's how you set the tone. Do you smile when you speak, or are you like a drone? If you're saying something sad, then say it with a frown. But if your point is happy, then turn that frown around. And there you have it, 4 quick tips to level up your game. Practice and use all of them, and you will make it rain. Look, rattlesnakes are great communicators. You are a great communicator too. Channel your inner rattlesnake, and you will be the best you. Now, I'd like to know, based on what you've learned, if the number of your confidence has changed in the ability for you to pitch your idea. And I'm going to guess it has. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to connect with me, I would love to connect. If you remember my name, my first name, Ryan, you can find me online at ryan.online. I help people create talks that matter, whether it's the TEDx stage or whether it's your elevator pitch or whether it's that moment that makes the difference for your business. I'm here to help. I'm a big fan of GSE. I'm here for you. Connect on LinkedIn. And Stanley, that's what I got for you.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Always a pleasure having you on these sessions, and thank you so much for your time and for engaging with our pitches today and our audience as well. Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure having you on.
You're welcome, buddy. All right, to everybody, watch out for rattlesnakes.
All right. So that was our final keynote for today, and I think it's apt because that's just before our pitch presenters go on, our finalists go on, because he shared a lot of tips that they could practicalize and then use as well. So that was great having Ryan on stage as well. Okay, so now thanks to all our speakers that have come on the session today. It was a real great pleasure having you on. Your thought leadership was amazing and your insights were amazing as well. So thanks to each and every one of the speakers that we had on the session today. We're thankful to our speakers over the course of the Accelerator program who have joined us and shared their thought leadership in various ways as well. Okay, so this all started with the Accelerator program where we had thousands apply, more than thousands apply. We selected a group of just 12,000 to take part in this cohort for this year, and they went through Accelerator training with various speakers and thought leaders coming on to share insights as well. Okay, so they went through that program, and then this is a pool of those that went through. That's a feature for the cohort. Then with the feature, we took them to a little bit of competition to get votes to be able to pitch during this demo day. And we are now going to transition to the Digital Startup Accelerator finalists demo day, where we have speakers that have gone through voting and have made it through the final to be able to select out of 50. They managed to go through the voting process and then managed to pull the most votes out of the 50 that were selected. We have the top 10 who are here with the top 10 votes out of the pool of voting to be able to pitch today. So they'll be joining us shortly to take part in their pitch promo day. But before we begin that, we'll take a recap of the Accelerator program, and when we come back, it's pitch time.
Welcome everyone to the GSE Digital Startup Accelerator. At GSE, we are on a mission to prepare individuals and organizations for the digital age through our platform at GSE. But many have seen GSE in action on the ground with our iconic Tech Summit portfolio, where we go around the world and we activate tech ecosystems through our annual Tech Summits. We have launched about 60 different activations around the world over the past 7 years, and we'll continue to grow and go into Asia and the Caribbean and other emerging markets to really inspire stakeholders in the startup ecosystem to build forward and to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs who are building with purpose, building with integrity, and building with enthusiasm for solving the world's greatest global challenge. Becoming a seasoned entrepreneur really does something to your motivation of how you build and scale your company. Because it's in those low moments that you have to question and ask yourself once more, why did I start to do this in the first place? What was my purpose and my why behind this?
And know when to give up and know when to say no to customers. It's okay to say no to them if it's not the right fit.
Look, solve a problem that somebody cares about. If not, don't do it. It's like, and think about it. Spend the time finding a problem that is like that you really think that it's a problem.
Continue to, well, you're going to persist, right? You're going to work really hard. Persistence, right? Never give up.
Never seek permission from anything or anyone outside of yourself.
I think it always helps to think about what's in it for the other person, right? To start there. So you know what you're looking for. Put yourselves in the shoes of the target that you're going after, and then say, okay, how can I make this attractive to them?
Transparency is key. Transparency is key especially when it comes to building trust. And if you sit on it and don't say anything about it and wait till the end, you're starting to lose the trust.
When you have a brand identity of building a business with purpose, people will stay in touch with you and support you along the entire entrepreneurial journey, even if it's not right now.
Wherever you are today, is that a place you want to be? If no, what are you doing to progress, or what are you doing to achieve that goal?
If you don't remove the blockages to your customers, you're never ever going to have a successful business.
We are sometimes our own biggest enemy. Whatever you're going through as a founder or as a business person, there's someone else out there going through the same thing, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Have your plan A, always have a plan B, but just go for it.
And some days you're going to be tired. Some days you're going to be exhausted. But you also can't forget about why you're here. Take complete ownership. No one is going to save you. No one's going to solve your problems.
Be honest with yourself about your capabilities and your unique attributes to solve said problem.
A lot of people feel like, oh my goodness, AI is going to take over everything. And our stance is that AI is just another tool, right? We should not forget that human connection remains the same.
There's a lot of opportunity out there, but it has to be a long-term play. You can't go into these international markets and get intimidated or get frustrated because it's not going your way initially. It's about time and investment.
Make up your mind that you are in it for the long haul. It's not going to be easy. And also, when you are sure of what you want to do, and of course, from the beginning, it's not always so clear.
It's either it work or it works. There's no other option. It's either work or it will work. So don't give room for options where if it not work, I'll fall back. No, don't fall back on anything. If you have decided that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build a business, you want to build a startup, there's no falling back.
Embrace resilience and clarity of purpose. Because entrepreneurship is not about having all the resources. It's about being resilient, being steadfast.
We have to prepare ourselves and our mind to fight with the challenges, the economic hardships, and the bureaucratic issues. If we prepare ourselves, we can win on the challenges and the economic hardships.
Oftentimes we think about one source, about a solution outside of you, but the solution is next to you.
Okay, welcome back, and congratulations to everyone that was selected. Congratulations to our semi-finalists, and congratulations to our finalists who have made it to this stage. We're going to kick on to our pitch presentation. Each of our founders have 1 minute to tell us what they are about, and we'll now be bringing them one after the other to kick on with their pitch presentations. To kick things off, we have Ayemfoluwa Edun. I hope I got the name right. Let me see a thumbs up if we are ready so that we could get on with your slides. So I am Faye. You're okay. Great. I am Faye is ready, and I'll bring him up to then go on. Welcome, Ayan Faye.
Hi. Hello. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. And great to finally put a face to the name. And ready for your pitch. Your 1 minute starts now.
All right. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Ayatollah, founder of Dostian, and we're building the core infrastructure for Africa's food supply chain. Right. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So there goes our mission. Our mission is um, to make Africa's food supply chain as resilient as possible, and our vision is to ensure that flows freely across the world's food supply chain. Next slide. So the problem is vast and a lot. Our population in Africa will double by 2050, and the climate pressure is rising. But the food supply chain remains unreliable, fragmented, wasteful, and then restaurants face supply failures, stockouts, and zero visibility, inefficiencies that drive up prices and quietly worsen the food insecurity. Now, the market is huge, right? So the food product sector is worth over $50 billion and growing fast, and yet it operates without a modern operating system. And that's where we come in. Gaussian changes that. Next slide. We are connecting restaurant supplies on one trusted platform where procurement, inventory, contract, and payments flow clearly. Our differentiation is trust and clarity in low trust market, real-time visibility, supply reliability scoring, and standardized workflows built for the African realities. When supply chains work, food becomes affordable and cities become resilient. That's the future we're building, starting with Rwanda and Nigeria. Next slide. Our target audience are food businesses and suppliers. So essentially, it's a marketplace connecting both to each other. Next slide, please. That is the product snippet. We've currently built a prototype and currently building the first version, which is the MVP. And next slide. Our market size is from a bottom-up approach is 1 billion. Just calculating for Nigeria, Rwanda, and Ghana, right? And with a total addressable market of $1 billion, we believe we are on a good path to success. Next slide. Our competitive advantage lies in the network effects that only strengthens as more people join. More businesses that join, more businesses join will attract a lot more suppliers and vice versa. And then we're taking a design-led approach, which is human first, code second, right? And then we're building in a trust-based system that will allow both parties to review and create an environment of trust across the entire platform. Our competitors, yes, they exist like Toast, the Square, but what makes us stand out is we don't need any custom hardware. All you need to use Austin is your phone, your laptop, or a tablet. Next slide. Attraction. We've done a lot of in-depth interviews with stakeholders across the ecosystem, and we've collected feedback from businesses that are ready to use the product. And our MVP is currently under development. Next slide. Our business model is SaaS, right? So we are a SaaS tool. You don't have to buy hardware. All you need to do is download the product, which is going to be available on the relevant app stores. And then you need to, of course, pay a monthly or a quarterly or yearly subscription to access the full entirety of the product. Next slide. Our revenue projection is as thus. For the first year, we're looking at about $63,000 if we're able to onboard about 300 businesses in total. And then up to the third year, it's going up to over $3 million if we're able to onboard about 8,000 businesses in total. Next slide. And our go-to-market strategy is basically localize. We're hyper-localizing, focusing on one business and capturing the network with network density in the particular area before expanding to others. And this will also drive the word-of-mouth marketing that will also increase our product adoption across the board. Next slide. We're a team of 3. I'm the founder and designer, lead designer, and Jules is a full stack and machine learning engineer, which is really crucial because we're going to be using forecasting analysis and a lot of predictive analytics for the analytics part of the platform. And then we have Blessing, who's in charge of the front end engineering and product management. Next slide. Our goal is to reduce 10,000 tons of food waste by 2027 and connect over 55,000 plus food businesses across the continent. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dayton. Thank you, Ayofe. It's more than 1 minute, but I hope you managed to get your message across, and all the best.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So we'll have our next startup come up. Right. We'll actually prepare for 1 minute. This time, since to be fair, I'm going to give it 2 minutes and then we'll cut you off when the time is up. So we have Oluwatobi. I think Oluwatobi has had enough practice before now, so he should be super ready to go. So welcome Oluwatobi, and then for your pitch presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Over to you.
All right. Okay, share my screen. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
The slide is up, so just speak to the slide, okay?
All right. Okay, that's fine. So the next slide, please. Okay, so the problem. So many businesses rely on a patchwork of disconnected tools for managing security, employee productivity, and file sharing. So these siloed systems often fail to communicate effectively, which leads to operational inefficiencies due to fragmented workflows and redundant data entry. Security vulnerabilities caused by inconsistent policy enforcement and blind spots between tools. So that's the problem. So most businesses face issues with that. So Trivix provides a unified platform accessible via robust APIs and SDKs designed to seamlessly integrate into your existing tech stack. It brings together three powerful capabilities: security monitoring, productivity analytics, and then the third one. Next slide. Okay, so security monitoring and productivity analytics, and then the third one is file sharing. So Trivix offers a comprehensive RESTful API that provides structured, reliable access to its core services, all through a unified interface. So developers can leverage dedicated API endpoints for real-time security, event ingestion and monitoring, user and team productivity metrics, file sharing and sharing logs, custom webhook integration for automated workflows and alerts. Next slide, please. The market opportunity. So the cybersecurity and productivity SaaS market is experiencing massive growth, driven by the increasing complexity of hybrid work environments, rising security threats, and the demand for operational efficiency. So organizations are investing heavily to protect their data, streamline workflows, and gain real-time insight into workforce behavior. Over $180 billion is spent annually on tools spanning cybersecurity, employee productivity, and secure file sharing. Next slide, please. Okay, so traction, we have like early pilot customers engaged. So we've onboarded 750 pilot customers from key target verticals. So these users are they are utilizing our platform for productivity tracking and security monitoring, validating our core use cases in real world environments. So we have early feedbacks, from users to help refine our product roadmap. Next slide. SaaS. So the business model is a SaaS plus usage-based API pricing model. So our business model combines predictable SaaS subscription revenue with flexible usage-based pricing for API consumption. So this hybrid approach allows us to monetize both consistent enterprise contracts and high-volume developer and API usage, aligning value with usage at every level. Next slide. The technology and competitive advantage. So so our platform is powered by a robust, secure, and scalable REST API designed to meet the demands of modern SaaS, software as a service, and enterprise applications. So with high availability and all. So for the go-to-market strategy, our target customer segment, mid-sized business in regulated or tech-driven sectors, fintech, healthcare, logistics, telcos, and B2B software as a service. Organizations in underserved markets. Key channels, direct sales, and also channel partnerships with local IT firms and security consultants, system integrators with enterprise relationships. Next slide. The marketing. So as cyber threat grows more complex and localized, so we have organizations needing an integrated, cost-effective platform that provides security, visibility, and response tools without complex setup. Our team. So myself, Oluwatobi Adiogun, and my brother Damola Tolu Onibokun, my wife Elizabeth Adiogun, and like engineer Tunja Anjorin and Tosi Amuso. Next slide, please. So they ask, we are actually in the process of fundraising. We are looking at $5 million, but that's too much of a fund. But we are starting with at least $2 million. That's the ask. So the use of funds is to expand customer base and also to actually build for software development. So for the next slide, please. This is not needed. The next slide, please. Okay, so for the financial projections, in 5 years, we hope to have raised $1.5 million. So in year one, $1.5 million. Then in year 3, $8 million. Next slide. Thank you very much. That should be it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Toby, for that. Wishing you all the best. Okay, so our next presenter to go on will be George from Pocket Watch AI. George, are you ready? Let me see. Okay, so I believe George is ready, and we'll bring him up.
Hey, Stan, can you hear me okay?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure, are we doing 2 minutes now? Or 1 minute?
Yes, we are doing 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, perfect. All right, ready when you are. All right, hi everyone. My name is George Christoph, and I am the founder and CEO of Pocket Watch. Next slide, please. More than half of the global workforce today lives paycheck to paycheck, and billions of adults control almost none of the world's wealth. Many find themselves juggling different accounts, bills, credit, and debt just to afford a normal life. And unfortunately, today's apps, they're giving you glorified charts and AI summarizations, but they're actually not helping people navigate this chaos. Next slide. So what we're doing is we're building Pocket Watch. It's an AI personal finance assistant that's helping users budget smarter and gives them concrete strategies to afford the things they love. This is helping them get new opportunities, reduce financial stress, but most importantly, provide upward economic mobility. Next slide. Here's how it works. Users review new transactions daily in under 60 seconds, earning XP, streaks, and badges for staying consistent. That frequent input, though, gives Pocket Watch updated context on your true financial reality, which then allows us to provide a unique AI experience. Next slide. So take, for example, just asking your assistant, hey, can I afford a $200 cabin trip with friends next weekend? Instead of just giving a summarization of your income and your expenses and just saying that you're short $80, what the AI will actually do is design a plan to actually close that gap. And what we're doing as well from an app standpoint is we're tracking those steps in order to the point where you can actually make that goal happen. Next slide, please. For monetization, we're using the freemium model, so it's free to start. And then we have a paid tier for unlimited AI guidance, as well as some exclusive savings that you will get from our business side partners. There's also a total addressable market of $90 billion. So we do see a pathway to about 200 million ARR in the next 4 years. Next slide, please. With our clickable prototype complete and MVP under development, I recently moved about 2 months ago here to Nairobi, Kenya to work alongside my CTO, James, who's an AI architect that already has experience with agentic fintech systems, integrating M-Pesa and things like that here in Kenya. But our initial launch will be in the States as we're trying to find a Duolingo subsidized business model first, type of business model. But with that being said, our MVP is under development as we speak. I do have a beta launch scheduled for January 2026, but the team is moving really fast. So we expect to have a beta out by early to mid-December. So we're currently looking for 1 million pre-seed, and that's just to hire more talent and support our go-to-market campaigns. So we thank you for your time. And for anyone on the call, if you want to support us, feel free to go to pocketwatchai.com and just join our waitlist. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, George, and wish you all the best. All right. So next we have Adewale Osini. Let me see if Adewale is ready and can give me a thumbs up if he's on. Okay, so Adewale is on. I believe he's still stuck in the back end. So team, kindly try to see if you could reach Adewale to go. Okay, so we'll be moving to the next person. The next picture and the person of Ronald. Ronald. Let me see if Ronald is ready. Okay. So Ronald just joined. Ronald, are you ready to go? Let me see. Give me a thumbs up so that we could cue you in. Okay, so Ronald is ready. All right. Welcome, Ronald. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay. So the stage is yours.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Your slide is up, so just kick on with it. Speak to the slides.
Okay. So, car ownership in Africa is actually very stressful. Oh, thank you. So, car ownership in Africa is actually very stressful. Okay, so car ownership in Africa is actually very stressful because 70% of vehicle services happen in informal and unverified ecosystem. So when your car breaks down, I think when your car breaks down, you're relying on luck, random numbers, WhatsApp groups, calling people you've never met. So there's no standard pricing and service history like a reliable emergency support. So next slide. What we're building is Kabi, the first digital infrastructure for automotive care. So our platform connects car owners to verified mechanics, garages, fuel stations, and towing services, with transparent pricing, real-time roadside assistance with digital service tracking. So the market our entry point is actually focused. We have over $55 billion across Africa and the Middle East. The serviceable market is around $100 million, and the obtainable market is around $10 million in 18 months. So with an entry point of 2 to 3%. Our business model is very simple and scalable. We have the subscription features, 10% marketplace transaction, and the advertisement fees for those partners who would want in-app visibility and stuff. And our customer acquisition is approximately $16, and the lifetime value for the customer is around $77. We have a target gross margin of 60%, and we project to break even within 18 to 24 months. Next slide. Our current traction on the supply side, we have onboarded over 500 garages verified, 150 plus towing partners that are live across the key corridors, and we have operational mapping across Uganda. And on the other side, on the demand side, we have over 20,000 users on our wait list before launch. And we have actually we are in pre-launch discussions with fuel stations and insurers for the launching phase. Next slide. Our financials, we project to have 30,000 active users in our first year and 80,000 users in our second year. Plus, we would want to scale to over 3,000 service providers in year 3 across East Africa. And we are currently raising a $200,000 pre-seed. And this is going to help us with the market activation, product development, and team expansion for that. We estimate the runway is going to take us 15 to 18 months. Yeah. We are a well-balanced team. We actually have five female and actually 3 male. So basically we are gender-based. We have a team of 6, which I would not go too detailed to it. Then next slide. So we are redeveloping a system and we are organizing a system. And if anyone wants to be part of this, we would love to welcome them on board, and let's create magic together. And Kami is here to redefine the automotive aftercare industry. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, Ronald, and wishing you all the best in your endeavors. Okay, so we'll now transition to our next presenter in the person of Fano Amal with a Scholar Link. Fano, are you ready? Let me see. Okay, Fano is on and ready. Welcome, Fano.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. So the stage is all yours.
Okay, thank you. So, my name is Fanuel Almau. I'm a CEO and founder of Asquala Link. So, in Asquala Link, the Ethiopians works on education. So, the next slide. We got a next slide, please. Okay, yeah. So, we are getting problems on Ethiopian. There is a huge, severe academic performance crisis. Oh, nops. Can you back, please? Sorry. So that's why we have gotten in the education platform. We are currently working on the lack of parental involvement problem and limited affordability in the infrastructures in Ethiopia. The lack of parental involvement is like, as a national PTA researched that the parents who are involved in their educational academic status of the students can increase in confidence and also their academic performances. And there is also a limited affordability and infrastructure, and also there is an inconsistent academic performance. That's why the next slide, please. Yeah, that's why Asquala Link were born here for giving for the parents a continuous parental communication for their schools. We're gonna give the system that can provide assist them and support with our AI tools, and also for the parents it automatically reports for their child performance even without an internet, including without a smartphone. They can track their child even they are being in the rural area. This is how Asquala Link works. We have also an AI-powered student study tool that helps a lot for the children and the students to learn education on their personal spec without a generalist learning style. Can you move to the next slide, please? Okay, here are our attractions. We are almost grown within almost in 4 months. We grew from 196 students, moved to 14,500 plus students. That's currently increasing more. And we also partnered with 16 plus schools, and also we got a 90% of departmental engagement and also a continuation after the free trial for the parents. And also we got a strong partnership with the government and institutional levels, so that leverage our expansion. And also we got referred by the schools organically without even further marketing. The next slide, please. Okay, here is our student portal that analyzed the student performance tracks and also gamified their learning style. Can you move to the next slide? Okay, here are our business logic. We are currently working on the sustainable business model that we are working on B2B2C. That's an hybrid business model. We are a SaaS service, so we're gonna give for the schools without any additional infrastructure. So that makes the schools an even easier more for adapting our system. The pricing strategy is the hybrid mechanism for the private schools. We are giving from them the shared model. The schools will cover 60%, 40% will covered by the parents, and also we are our revenue stream from the subscription, and also we are working on the SMS ads, because since we have a lot of user bases, we can promote more educational things. And also the next slide, please. Yeah, this is our educator training session. We are working to the ground, even training the educators, I mean the teachers, to adapt the system for creating on awareness of how to use a digital equipment. And these are the rural areas, even our regions are even our in a war zone, so that's harder to maintain and scale fast. So this is our team. That's the Camp Break Hardstone. I'm Fanuel, and Kadis is our CTO, and also Avela Demo, a Chief Marketing Officer. We are expanding much further even in hard situations. So the next slide, we are currently moving from these user bases to the 50,000 students within the next year only. So we are seeking 500,000 US dollar for achieving this goal. So this is not the gap is not costing us only grades, it's costing us the dreams. So I'm calling you today is to come here and let's build the bridge of the gaps, and let's make the every child achieve their dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for more, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right. So moving on quickly, next we have Nancy. Nancy, let me see if Nancy is ready. If you're ready, give me a thumbs up so that I can pull you up. All right. I see Nancy is ready. Welcome, Nancy.
I'm ready.
Yes. Okay. So you are good to go.
Okay. I'm good to go. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Stanil.
The slide is up. Can't you see it? Okay, I think Nancy, you may have technical
Hello,
issues.
can you hear me?
Move to the next person and then come back to Nancy. So Mark, are you ready? Mark, let me see you with video so that we can transition to you shortly. Mark, I can't see you, so if... Okay, so Mark 2 is not ready. Licio, are you ready? Get on video so we could go. Great. Licio is ready. Licio is ready, so we'll be transitioning to Licio soon. Okay, so Licio from Bolin Academy. Welcome, Licio.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Licio Lentimo. I am the co-founder and CEO of Bolin Academy. And Bolin Academy stands as a comprehensive digital education provider, expertly merging the roles of a sophisticated online course marketplace with a powerful integrated learning management system. The platform is dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations in the technology sector by providing high quality, accessible education in high demand fields. Its core curriculum is strategically focused on critical areas such as cybersecurity, mobile application development, and web development, ensuring learners acquire the cutting edge skills necessary to advance their careers in a rapidly evolving digital economy. So today, thousands of aspiring tech professionals and even organizations struggle to find one reliable platform that offers high quality, up-to-date learning in specialized fields like cybersecurity, web development, and data protection. And at the same time, expert instructors face the painful burden of building, hosting, marketing, and managing their courses across scattered tools. And this disconnect slows down skills development and limits earning opportunities for educators. Next slide, please. The solution that we have at Bolin Academy is to provide a single streamlined ecosystem for tech education. Our platform brings together a diverse course library, integrated payments, and automated progress tracking all in one place. Students get a frictionless learning experience, while instructors gain an effortless way to deliver, monetize, and scale their courses. Next slide, please. What sets us apart is our seamless fusion of a tech-focused course marketplace with a powerful built-in learning management system. Instead of juggling multiple services, students and instructors operate in a unified platform designed specifically for the technology learning space. Next slide, please. Our key features include an intuitive course builder, payments and subscriptions, and advanced reporting that supports both learners and educators. Bolin Academy becomes the bridge connecting tech experts and global learners in one cohesive, scalable environment. Next slide. So we are building the future of digital tech education, accessible, integrated, and built for growth. I invite you to join us as we empower the next generation of African and global tech talent. Thank you very much.
Great presentation, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we have Melanie from Sustainagy Solutions. Melanie, let me see if you're ready. I believe Melanie is ready. So, okay. So I'll leave the stage to you.
Yes, we can start. So we have Sustainagy Solutions Limited, a renewable energy startup. Go to the next slide. So the problem we are addressing is the energy access gap, with 600 million people in Africa and 12 million people in Kenya still lacking electricity. With our mission to provide affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy solutions. And our vision is to support the transition, the green energy transition. Next slide. So for us to solve this problem of energy access gap, our startup is is offering the various services. Solar solutions for home, agriculture, we have the microgrid and mini-grid projects, energy efficiency, research, and the energy monitoring. 3 features that make Sustainagy solution unique is we have flexible payment models, energy efficient systems, and technical support and maintenance. Next slide, kindly. So our market opportunity, we have these 6 areas that are growing rapidly. We have the growing demand for solar energy systems for both households and agriculture, shortage of the energy audit firms, developing microgrids and mini-grid to improve the energy access gap, demand for the research and development, and growth in the net metering and smart energy management. Next slide. For this particular accelerator program, our ask are the following. Partnership with tech companies to get the free softwares and credits to help with the energy management system, support to scale the renewable energy projects and services, and visibility to grow our market, both in Kenya and continentally. Here's my team, made of 6 members. The last slide. Thank you, and feel free to reach out to us via our website, Sustainagy Solutions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pelani, and I wish you all the best. Okay. We'll now have Nancy to come and give her presentation. We missed Nancy earlier, so we'll be bringing back Nancy to the stage. Okay. To bring in Nancy. Nancy, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is Nancy. We are trying to solve a health tech and care challenge. We are building resilience through digital learning, agri-tech, health tech, and climate action. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Staniel. The problem we are trying to handle is the rural communities facing climate shocks, poor healthcare access, food insecurity, and economic exclusion. We are dealing with widows, youth, and persons with disabilities who are disproportionately affected by these conditions. Lack of integrated and inclusive solutions is largely experienced. Lack of access to specialized treatment and health tech and care is equally largely experienced. These communities travel very long distances to access medical care. Next slide, please. We intend to do a level 5 hospital, but we will start with Doctors Plaza, which will transition to scale to a level 5 hospital. ACOSEN has been conducting free medical camps across the communities in order to access medical services to the people. We are equally empowering these communities economically to be able to afford healthcare. Next slide, please. Our solution, next slide, please. Our solution, ACOSEN delivers bundled services. We want to put up a specialist level 5 hospital with a specialist Doctors Plaza as a pilot project. We shall then transition to scale. A mobile health outreach is equally intended to reach deep down into the community. Disaster preparedness and management is something we are equally guiding the communities on, and training different community health volunteers on. Then digital tools for access and education. We are equally offering community-led, tech-enabled, and inclusive solutions. Next slide, please. Next slide, our services. We intend to put up a fully fledged modern theater services, mobile clinics and telemedicine, digital platform for telehealth consultations with a customer care unit, in cooperation and collaboration with insurance companies to allow healthcare access to all. Since with specialized treatment, we know the cost may be high, so the best we can do is to enable the community have access to insurance covers. We shall equally offer, sorry, just a minute. We shall equally offer dialysis services, modern imaging ecosystem, cancer screening, internal mini blood bank, a modern maternity wing, male and female wards for inpatients, oxygen system, and hematology unit. We shall equally be offering pharmaceutical services. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. ACOSAIN's achievements, one of ACOSAIN's achievements is that we were nominated to the Tally MSME Award 2025, and we were equally nationally recognized by KCB Bank Group in Kenya in 2025. Market opportunity. We intend to serve 10 million plus underserved rural Kenyans and global community. The global community shall be reached through the telemedicine and teleconsultations. High mobile penetration enables scalable delivery. Then demand for bundled community-rooted solutions. This is something that we shall adhere to. And we shall replicate this model across East Africa. Next slide, please. Our business model is hybrid, donor-funded plus community micro-enterprises, which means we shall be charging our services, but make sure that all community cadre members are able to access. Then specialist level 5 health facility with a specialist doctor's plaza, meaning that we shall be treating what the local available hospitals and facilities are not able to offer. Strategic partnerships amplify reach to the community on referral basis. This means we shall partner with other different hospitals to be able to refer cases that they're not able to handle to us, which will scale our business. Next slide, please. Traction matrix. We intend to serve 5,500 plus individuals within a year. We shall equally look at 1,200 community health volunteers and train them within a year. We expect to offer 1,300 plus special cases treated locally, 4 mobile health zones launched, and 500 plus youth volunteers mobilized. This means we shall be able to replicate at least 4 facilities within the next 1 year. Fully fledged level 5 hospital with a fully fledged theater and imaging machines, MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, X-ray, and cancer screening machine and dialysis machine, and services shall be offered within the next 1 year. Sustainability, next slide, please. Sustainability practices. Regenerative agriculture for livelihood and nutrition support. Circular resource use. Digital service delivery, strategic management, and an embedded local capacity. We shall maximize on the trained and unemployed medical practitioners that are available to us. PWD's inclusion. We shall not leave PWDs out because they equally need medical assistance. Service charter, and that means our facility shall be PWD accessible. We shall do ramps and others. Funding request and impact. We request for $450,000 US for the pilot program, which is the Doctors Plaza and the technical machines. And then we shall transition to scale, which will need approximately another $1.4 million to a level 5 hospital, which will require male and female wards. We intend to reach 5,000 plus individuals across 6 constituencies within Siaya County and beyond. Build scalable ecosystem of dignity, opportunity, and resilience. Budget includes 10% contingency for risk mitigation. Thank you. We have a total of 3, our staff is comprised of 3 directors, 5 board members. We have 4 professionals and 1 community member within the board. And then we have 13 executive staff who are professionals. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. I wish you
We reach out to any like-minded partners to be able to join us to support us with this project, especially being that health is a global concern.
Okay, so next we have Mark, who's from Quinlan Mark Ibrahim Limited. So I'll bring Mark to the stage so I can kick off his presentation. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, the stage is all yours.
Go to the next slide, please. Next. Okay, thank you. Why the demand for sustainable energy solution is rising here in Rwanda, many African countries still lack affordable, eco-friendly cooking technologies and construction materials. My name is Mark Sikubwabo, the Managing Director of Kenkolimark Ibrahim Limited. Through Kenkolimark Ibrahim Limited, we are partnering with young women innovators in Rubavu and Musanze district here in Rwanda by producing volcanic stone energy-efficient stoves that cut carbon emissions and provide sustainable, local, and beyond in Africa solutions. More than hardware supplier, the company acts as a catalyst for inclusive growth and environmental responsibility within Rwanda's construction and energy sectors. Our solution, we are building scalable support and distribution model by investing in local production, training women innovators, and partnering with the community groups to promote volcanic stones and construction materials. Go to the next slide, please. Next. This is our team that we are working with. I am the managing director, and those are the team that we are working off. And by now we are looking for other partners so that we can advance our company and make it go beyond Africa so that we can produce more stoves using modern machines. So we are looking for $200,000 US fund. Thank you so much for your attention.
Okay, Thank you, Mark, and wish you all the very best. Okay, audience, that wraps up our startup pitch demo day. We've heard from the startup presenters. Each of them have a unique problem and a unique solution to the problems that they've highlighted, and they have sent out a call to action. Let us know who you are rooting for in terms of, from what you've heard today, who are you going to invest in. You could reach out to them. All of them left their information there. If you followed, you should also be able to get that information as well. They are available on the social media channels as well, so you could look out for the company. The announcements link went out, so you could check that out to find out more information about our startup pitch finalists that we have on the session today. It's been an amazing session. It took longer than we thought, but it's finally come to a culminating end, and we are really grateful to all our speakers that came on the session today. We are thankful, particularly grateful to the speakers from the Accelerator program and then the speakers for the Digital Startup Summit. It's been a month-long 10 sessions, and we finally culminated with this Digital Startup Summit. You heard from the speakers today from the intersection between innovation, entrepreneurship, and technology as well. You've also heard from the startup pitch finalists who have shared their businesses with you, their acts with you as well, and then their call to action as well. So it's important that we take note of that and see who we can support us and when we need to. This wraps up the Digital Startup Summit for 2025, the inaugural edition, which culminates the Digital Startup Accelerator program, its 8th annual session. We are thankful to all our supporters and all our sponsors, as well as all the speakers that showed up for this. And we are really grateful to all of you for taking part in it. Those of you that took part in the sessions, sent in the comments. We couldn't engage with all the comments as well, but we are really grateful to you all as well for the engagement over the course of the program, and we look forward to engaging with you more on our summit as well. So keep engaging with us on our teams, and then you're able to get updates on our programs and upcoming events that we do have lined up. So without wasting my time, we'll wrap up here for today, and then see you during our next program. Thank you all so much, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Welcome everyone to the GSE Digital Startup Accelerator. At GSE, we are on a mission to prepare individuals and organizations for the digital age through our platform at GSD. But many have seen GSE in action on the ground with our iconic Tech Summit portfolio, where we go around the world and we activate tech ecosystems through our annual Tech Summits. We have launched about 60 different activations around the world over the past 7 years, and we'll continue to grow and go into Asia and the Caribbean and other emerging markets to really inspire stakeholders in the startup ecosystem to build forward and to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs who are building with purpose, building with integrity, and building with enthusiasm for solving the world's greatest global challenges. Becoming a seasoned entrepreneur really does something to your motivation of how you build and scale your company. Because it's in those low moments that you have to question and ask yourself once more, why did I start to do this in the first place? What was my purpose and my why behind this?
And know when to give up and know when to say no to customers. It's okay to say no to them if it's not the right fit.
Look, solve a problem that somebody cares about. If not, don't do it. It's like, and think about it. Spend the time finding a problem that is like that you really think that it's a problem.
Continue to, well, you're going to persist, right? You're going to work really hard. Persistence, right? Never give up.
Never seek permission from anything or anyone outside of yourself.
I think it always helps to think about what's in it for the other person, right? To start there. So you know what you're looking for. Put yourselves in the shoes of the target that you're going after, and then say, okay, how can I make this attractive to them?
Transparency is key.
Transparency is key especially when it comes to building trust. And if you sit on it and don't say anything about it and wait till the end, you're starting to lose the trust.
When you have a brand identity of building a business with purpose, people will stay in touch with you and support you along the entire entrepreneurial journey, even if it's not right now.
Wherever you are today, is that a place you want to be? If no, what are you doing to progress, or what are you doing to achieve that goal?
If you don't remove the blockages to your customers, you're never ever going to have a successful business.
We are sometimes our own biggest enemy. Whatever you're going through as a founder or as a business person, there's someone else out there going through the same thing, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Have your plan A, always have a plan B, but just go for it.
And some days you're gonna be tired. Some days you're gonna be exhausted, but you also can't forget about why you're here. Take complete ownership. No one is gonna save you. No one's gonna solve your problems.
Be honest with yourself about your capabilities and your unique attributes to solve said problem.
A lot of people feel like, oh my goodness, AI is going to take over everything. And our stance is that AI is just another tool, right? We should not forget that human connection remains the same.
There's a lot of opportunity out there, but it has to be a long-term play. You can't go into these international markets and get intimidated or get frustrated because it's not going your way initially. It's about time and investment.
Make up your mind that you are in it for the long haul. It's not going to be easy. And also, when you are sure of what you want to do, and of course, from the beginning, it's not always so clear.
It's either it work or it works. There's no other option. It's either work or it will work. So don't give room for options where if it not work, I'll fall back. No, don't fall back on anything. If you have decided that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build a business, you want to build a startup, there's no falling back.
Embrace resilience and clarity of purpose. Because entrepreneurship is not about having all the resources. It's about being resilient, being steadfast.
We have to prepare ourselves and our mind to fight with the challenges, the economic hardships, and the bureaucratic issues. If we prepare ourselves, we can win on the challenges and the economic hardships.
Oftentimes we think about one source, about a solution outside of you, but the solution is next to you.